$1,000 to her successful 2016 run for Cook County State's attorney. A Chicago police officer and 2 other people are recovering after being bitten by a dog on the west side. Authorities say a man and woman were bitten by the loose canine yesterday in the 2400 block of Lawndale. Police then responded to the scene, and that dog attacked one of the officers, biting him on the left arm. A sergeant at the scene then shot and killed that dog. 7 people are hospitalized after a Pink Line train crashed into a vehicle in Cicero. Police say the vehicle was northbound on 47th last night when the driver tried to go around railroad crossing gates that were down. 5:04 on AM 560, authorities say an intoxicated woman driving the wrong way on a San Francisco highway crashed into a cab carrying 2 passengers and killing everyone inside. California Highway Patrol tells us this morning, among the dead, 62-year-old Judson Bergman from Barrington and 57-year-old Mary Miller of Chicago. Bergman was thrown from the taxi. Last night, Congressman Adam Schiff blasted President Trump over allegations that he requested to have foreign powers interfere in the U.S. election process. Speaking at Northwestern University, the California Democrat called the president's actions pernicious threats to our democracy. A casino operator has its eyes on Chicago. Daily Southtown reports Wind Creek Hospitality will seek a state license to open a casino on land in East Hazel Crest and in Homewood. The newspaper says the 2 suburbs are expected to vote on that project next week. Over 2,200 fetal remains found in an abortion doctor's garage are back in Indiana. Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill says remains found at the Will County home of the late Dr. Ulrich Klopfer were moved this week.
These remains will be humanely buried or cremated. That's our objective, but we'll take sufficient time to make sure that we provide whatever we have to provide under the law and under good sense.
They're being kept at an undisclosed location until proper arrangements can be met. The Blackhawks open the NHL season today against the Philadelphia Flyers in Prague. By the way, that is a 1 p.m. start this afternoon. There is new paper for Alex DeBrincat. Chicago agrees to terms with the Cat on a 3-year contract extension, averaging about $6.5 million a year. Bears and Raiders face off Sunday in London.
It's another game, man. It's gonna be a fun one because I know a few of the guys out there, but I'm not going out there for particularly anything other than to beat the Raiders.
Bear linebacker Khalil Mack in London yesterday on going up against his former team. Playoff baseball: Dodgers blanked the Nationals 6-0 in Game 1 of the NLDS. Quite a game in Game 2. It was the Cardinals over the Braves, 7-6 in comeback fashion. The American League Division Series gets underway today. Rays visiting the Astros. Yankees host the Twins. Illinois football visits Minnesota tomorrow, and right here on AM 560, NIU will welcome Ball State with a 2 p.m. pregame and 2:30 kick in DeKalb. The news is a service of Discover. Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year. Millions of people are automatically getting their cash back matched. Discover Cashback Match. What are you waiting for? Learn more at discover.com/cashbackmatch. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager believes the truth may be the answer.
Justin Trudeau has these pictures come out. If he had courage, he would say, I am sorry I did it, but it was not something I was aware of as wrong at the time, nor was it meant with malice. What if he did say that? What would happen? What a refreshing thing. Truth from a leftist.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and just because summer is over doesn't mean it's too late to paint your home. Fall is a great time to check painting off your to-do list. By now, I think I've had my entire home painted by CertaPro painters. They really are the best. You know, CertaPro painters make painting this fall easy and quick. They have more availability, which means you can have your home professionally painted much faster. Cooler weather is arriving, so it is time to think about protecting your home from the elements once again. Have CertaPro painters paint the exterior of your home as well. And with kids going back to school and the family moving back indoors, get excited about cozy nights with a new look from CertaPro painters. Don't put it off. It's time to hire CertaPro painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro painters, we do painting, you do life.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 4343 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 4343. Enjoy!
At Panera, get breakfast that's fast, not fast food. Try a new Chipotle chicken scrambled egg and avocado breakfast wrap and pair it with a premium freshly ground, freshly brewed coffee. All ready to go with the push of a button. Panera, food as it should be.
5:10. Let's get an update on the morning roads. AM 560 traffic center time. Jim Talamonte.
8094 westbound. The exit to Grant Street remains closed. Crash involving a car and a semi, and Grant is blocked off as well between 8094 and 25th Avenue. Inbound Eisenhower traffic is slow. 1st Avenue to Ridgeland. This is due to road construction. 2 right lanes. We're looking at about a 2-minute delay there. Westbound I-80 traffic is heavy. Briggs to Richards with work in the 2 right lanes. That's also, again, a construction delay on westbound I-80. New Lenox Galver is still closed due to a sinkhole. Closure between Spencer and Ellis. CTA Green and Pink Line trains will not operate between Ashland and Loop this weekend, starting at 10 tonight. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next in our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today, partly sunny. It'll be cool. The high today, 58. It'll be partly cloudy tonight, low 47. Cloudy tomorrow. A bit of rain for the late afternoon, high 63. Partly sunny and breezy on Sunday, high 64. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
46 degrees at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 5:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts next on AM 560, The Answer.
You see them all around town. Cintas trucks and their service reps taking care of customers. When companies use Cintas, you know they're confident and ready. Cintas helps with their fire protection and first aid and safety programs, handles their apparel solutions, and helps keep their facility and restrooms clean and stocked. So you know those companies care about their employees, facilities, and image. When all those things work together, they're ready for business. Oh, I'm ready! Get Cintas and get ready for the workday.
This is Michael Medved at michaelmedved.com for Town Hall. In the midst of their seemingly endless and unpredictable fight for the 2020 presidential nomination, does it make sense for Democrats to promote some of their least likable congressional leaders as the new face of their party? The result of the new impeachment investigation, assigned to 6 different House committees, is that the leaders of those committees, including Maxine Waters, Jerry Nadler, Adam Schiff, and Elijah Cummings, will dominate the debate and upstage the flailing presidential contenders. As it happens, all 6 chairs are from New York, California, Maryland, and Massachusetts, perfectly positioned to alienate key suburban voters in swing states that will decide the outcome of the election. The impeachment pursuit elevates some of the Democrats' least appealing proponents to positions of preeminence, helping to ensure party losses in the upcoming battles for control of the House, the Senate, and the White House. I'm Michael Medved.
Sponsored by ADF, Alliance Defending Freedom.
Are you looking to improve your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at Pheasant Run in St. Charles. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home, inside and out. Get trusted advice on your upcoming projects as you speak with local and national experts who will help you with all your home improvement needs. And be sure to attend the free expert seminars and see live product demonstrations all weekend. Be sure to grab your fall plants, flowers, and pumpkins by We Grow Dreams and Sunny Acres, and so much more. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend at Pheasant Run in St. Charles, with free admission and free parking. For more details, visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com. That's pheasantrunhomeshow.com. Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend in St. Charles. Visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com for more details.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, finally we have somebody who understands the fierce urgency of now when it comes to the climate threats to Western civilization, to the future of life on our planet. Of course, this comes out of a town hall conducted by one end of the world spice, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And I'll tell you what, she is definitely making an impression on her supporters. And she must feel very good that her sentiments are being echoed back to her.
We're not going to be here for much long because of the climate crisis. We only have a few months left. I love that you support the Green Deal, but it's not getting rid of fossil fuel. It's not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying, we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies.
Eating the babies.
We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2. All of you, you're a pollutant.
Yeah.
Too much CO2.
You're a pollutant.
We have to start now, please. You are so great. I'm so happy that you're really supporting the Green Deal, but it's not enough. Even if we would bomb Russia, we still have too many people, too much pollution. So we have to get rid of the babies. That's a big problem. Just stopping having babies is not enough. We need to eat the babies, and this is very serious. Please give a response.
Thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you. No.
We'll go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I get a harumph?
No, we'll go ahead.
Can I get some salsa over here?
No. Yeah, no. Thank you. So I think, so one of the things that's very important to us is that we need to treat the climate crisis with the urgency that it does present. Luckily, we have more than a few months.
But
we
just
need
barely.
to hit net zero in several years. But I think we all need to understand that there are a lot of solutions that we have and that we can pursue, and that if we act in a positive way, there's space for hope. We are never beyond hope.
Oh my
No, of course.
God.
Well, that's what that supporter was providing, hope. So yes, obviously deindustrialize America. That's obvious. Obviously, ban or tax red meat to moderate use. Obviously, but what about eating the babies? I mean, if we're going to get serious about this,
that is so irresponsible for AOC to just let that go. I mean, she didn't. She should be a measured politician at the very least and say, that's not a cause for alarm. We are not eating babies.
Not yet.
And I'm not asking you to eat babies.
Not for
but
several.
Just let that go, like the lady was saying. Climate change is.
Not for several years, according to AOC, will we have to eat the babies. And I think that's the nice separation between that supporter and AOC. That's why that supporter is just an activist and AOC is an esteemed congressperson. you see the restraint there, the context she provides. No. I hear what you're saying. I certainly hear the eat your babies thing, and that we have a couple months to live, and I know that's great because we need that sort of urgency. But it turns out we have a few years to get to net zero and to eliminate air travel. So that's good news. Now, just since they've provided such an opportunity on the topic, here was a group of scientists that were ignored during the Greta Thunberg foray before the UN at their recently concluded summit. It's a group called Friends of Science. It's a collection of some 500 scientists who are actually speaking up. Not that the press will amplify their voices, but these are actual scientists, not like members of Congress, not cranks like AOC or Sean Casten or the other Spice Girls. And I include Sean Casten as an honorary socialist Spice Girl. Scientists decided to put together a video, sent a letter to the UN commissars. They wanted to be given some consideration for the collective wisdom that they have. So, I mean, I guess for these 500 scientists, the debate's not over, and it's worth noting. So when your child is exposed to this eat the babies hysteria in the classroom, as they are being, or when you're exposed to it at a cocktail party in the North Shore, as you are being, then maybe you'll have some actual scientists to point to, some science to point to, which we provide all of the time here. The party of science, the left, right. Friends of Science.
Your Excellencies, there is no climate emergency. A global network of more than 500 knowledgeable and experienced scientists and professionals in climate and related fields have the honor to address Your Excellencies in the attached European Climate Declaration, for which the signatories to this letter are the national ambassadors. The general circulation models of climate on which international policy is at present founded are unfit for their purpose. Therefore, it is cruel as well as imprudent to advocate the squandering of trillions on the basis of results from such immature models. Current climate policies pointlessly, grievously undermine the economic system, putting the lives at risk in countries denied access to affordable, continuous electrical power. We urge you to follow a climate policy based on sound science, realistic economics, and genuine concern for those harmed by costly but unnecessary attempts at mitigation.
That's what an adult actually sounds like.
Yeah, it's refreshing. Thank you for bringing that to us.
As she summarizes the main points of the collective of scientists who signed on to this statement that was sent to the UN.
There's no climate emergency. Climate science should be less political. Natural as well as anthropogenic factors cause warming. Warming is far slower than predicted. Climate policy relies on inadequate models. CO2, carbon dioxide, is plant food, the basis of all life on Earth. Global warming has not increased natural disasters. Climate policy must respect scientific and economic realities. There's no climate emergency. There's no cause for panic and alarm. We strongly oppose the harmful and unrealistic net zero CO2 policy proposed for 2050.
And what about what we're doing to the kids like Greta?
While I respect the desire of so many young people and children to stand up for something, I see that some people are literally frightened into paralyzing anxiety. That's not how children should live their lives.
The good news is you won't have to worry about how children live their lives because they're going to be what's on your plate.
We're going to be eating them. I'm watching this video. It was on C-SPAN of this town hall meeting that you just played. The woman has a T-shirt on that says, "Save the planet, eat the children." Are you sure she's not some like Sacha Baron Cohen plant out there?
No, she's a future member of Congress from the Bronx, as far as I can tell.
And AOC did, I mean, that's just deplorable what AOC did. Just let that go and didn't challenge her or argue against that crazy statement she made or even question her goofy T-shirt. Eat the children.
You know, it's like Second City with these folks. You never cut somebody off. You just add to what they're saying.
This woman's got a problem, if you know what I'm saying. Thank you.
Some more bad news. In addition to the Friends of Science pronouncement from some of the snippets you just heard, some more bad news for the Eat the Babies crowd.
Oh my God. You're making me not hungry anymore.
The New York Times reporting, researchers, international collaboration of researchers produced a series of analysis concluding that the advice of limiting consumption of red meat and processed meats, because they're linked to heart disease, cancer.
I'm not stopping to eat red meat, but go on.
Researchers conclude the bedrock of almost all dietary guidelines, not backed by good scientific evidence. If there are health benefits from eating less beef and pork, they are small, the researchers concluded. Indeed, the advantages are so faint that they can be discerned only when looking at large populations, according to the scientists, and are not sufficient to tell individuals to change their meat-eating habits. Boy, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go over with that town hall crowd. Tony on the South Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Dan and Amy Lamb.
Hi,
I'll tell you what, that is the funniest stuff I heard in a long time.
I know.
So here's the other thing. I didn't know about the T-shirts. I can't believe they actually handed this woman a microphone after looking at her T-shirt.
I know. And then she took off her coat, too, while she was speaking, so you could read it loud and proud.
Please, Tony, please. It's like a Slim Shady video at those town halls. They all have those T-shirts on.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, then. So anyway, my comment is, in the infamous words of Blondie in the song Rapture, why stop at eating babies? Why don't we eat bars, guitars, and cars? Well, that's how the climate change process. And right there.
Thanks.
All right, guys, you have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tony.
Bye, Tony. I
Chuck,
got to come up with a nickname for Tony. Because he calls me his lammy lamb.
Tony is the gentleman who came up with Tangerine Jesus.
Oh, that's right.
The Trump nickname. Chuck at Delavan, Wisconsin.
Chuck from Delavan, thanks for picking on the meat again. They're always picking on meat. We got cheese up here. My congressman never says anything. That AOC, she can have my bratwurst and my cheeseburger when she can pry it from my cold, dead finger.
There you go. All right. Chuck Heston from Delavan, Wisconsin.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Now that fall is here, how's your fireplace and chimney? Before you light the first fire, have your chimney cleaned and inspected by Chicagoland's most trusted fireplace and chimney company. The experts at Fireplace and Chimney Authority will give your family peace of mind that your fireplace is safe and works properly all season long. And if you call today, get $45 off a cleaning and inspection. You'll be all set. Since 1995, Fireplace and Chimney Authority has been the favorite for everything fireplace and chimney. For a limited time, get 10% off any new purchase of a fireplace, new doors, gas logs, insert, or fireplace tool sets and screens. With record-breaking cold predicted this winter, now is a great time to update your existing fireplace or add a new fireplace to your home. Remember to get your fireplace serviced this fall and receive $45 off your chimney cleaning and inspection. Call Fireplace and Chimney Authority now, 630-279-8500, or visit online, fireplaceandchimneyauthority.com. fireplaceandchimneyauthority.com.
It's the best. The My Pillow, the Go Anywhere My Pillow. I love it. I took it with us last night when our what school did my kids go to? Amundsen. The Amundsen Vikings took on some school at 111th and Pulaski. The My Pillow is great. Again, take it with you anywhere. It can fit in your purse, and you can put it in the washer and dryer when it's dirty. And you'll get a Go Anywhere My Pillow when you order a My Pillow. And right now it's only $29.99. Thanks to Mike Lindell, the CEO and creator, inventor of My Pillow. He's paying it forward. He's saying thank you because we've helped build My Pillow into the amazing company that it is today. So receive deep discounts on My Pillows, the mattress toppers, and those Giza cotton sheets, which I also love. Go to MyPillow.com, type Amy in the promo code, MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Permaseal hears story after story of how homeowners say, oh, our basement only leaks when it rains. Well, you don't want your living room or bedroom getting wet, do you? The mold down there that it creates, you don't want to settle with a wet basement. And for 40 years now, Permaseal believes your basement should be dry no matter how hard it rains. That's right. You can have a permanently dry basement. Just give them a call, 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate, no haggle pricing, and a price assurance guarantee. So you can rest assured that you're getting the best value. Roy Spencer started Permaseal back in 1979. And guess what? It's still a local Chicagoland family business doing the right thing and standing behind their work. You know who to call. Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325. Or go to permaseal.net.
AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's morning. Or, no? Okay.
We'll pick up all the transpired on the impeachment front, including Trump's public pronouncement on China at 5:38.
And now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
46 degrees outside. Iraq's prime minister this morning urging anti-government protesters to go home, saying their demands have been met. The death toll from violence there at 42. Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam is banning protesters from wearing masks in a hardening of the government's stance today on the territory's most disruptive crisis since it reverted to Chinese rule in 1997. The mask ban, imposed under a colonial-era emergency ordinance, takes effect tomorrow. President Trump says there's no reason he cannot ask other countries to investigate corruption involving Democrat presidential frontrunner Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Meantime, the president tweets he has an absolute right as president to investigate, including asking or suggesting other countries help us out. Former ambassador to Ukraine being grilled by House Democrats, the heads of the House Intelligence and Foreign Affairs and Oversight Reform Committees all met with Kirk Volker for nearly 10 hours. Volker resigned, you may recall, after being named in a whistleblower complaint about the president's phone call with a Ukrainian leader. An IRS employee says there are red flags about interference in an audit of the president or vice president's tax returns. Washington Post is reporting that the employee filed that whistleblower complaint with the House Ways and Means Committee. Presidential candidate Bernie Sanders says he will be at the next Democrat debate. Less than 2 weeks after having heart surgery, Sanders' campaign says the senator's plans have not changed. Dwight Doty is guilty of murder. The murder of 9-year-old Tyshawn Lee in Chicago in 2015. Jurors convicting him yesterday of that shooting in an alley on Chicago's South Side. There are new details emerging about the FBI raid last week in McCook. Newly released documents show the raid at McCook Village Hall targeted village president and Cook County Commissioner Jeff Tobolsky's computer hard drives and items linked to the Village Exposition Center. 7 remain hospitalized after a Pink Line train crashed into a vehicle in suburban Cicero. It happened northbound on 47th Avenue last night. The Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago is getting a new name following a massive donation from Ken Griffin. The Southside Museum will become the Kenneth C. Griffin Museum of Science and Industry. The Blackhawks open the season today against Philadelphia in Prague. By the way, that is a 1 p.m. start time for us here in Chicago this afternoon. Bears and Raiders face off Sunday in London. Illinois football visits Minnesota tomorrow. And right here on AM 560, NIU welcomes Ball State with a 2 p.m. pregame and a 2:30 kick. Baseball, Dodgers blank the Nationals 6-0 in Game 1 of the NLDS. Cardinals over the Braves in their Game 1, 7-6. 5:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity can't make heads or tails of the left.
To be a liberal Democrat, extreme radical socialist today, you have to suspend any fidelity to truth, to honesty, to common sense and reason. Because in their world, up is down, down is up. You know, black is white, white is black, green is purple, purple is green. That's the world they live in.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Rick Blavelone, second-generation owner and CEO of Marketing Innovators and a customer of Signature Bank. Our family-run company was founded on the belief that connecting to people on a human level is the best way to build a great business. And when we were looking for a new bank, we didn't have to look far. We shared an office building with Signature Bank in Rosemont and quickly saw that they were truly locally owned and operated. That's why we partnered with Signature. And that relationship makes every business decision better and every communication clearer. Marketing Innovators looks forward to a long-lasting relationship with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
5:35, a check on the early morning roads. AM 560 traffic center time. Jim Telemonte.
Inbound Eisenhower traffic is getting still heavier with overnight road construction late in clearing. Right now, the bottleneck between 25th Avenue and Des Plaines Avenue with work in the two right lanes. And late in clearing right now, it's about 39 minutes. 390 to downtown. Outbound fine at 29. John Stevenson. Slow pocket start around Harlem. 37 minutes, 355 for Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 16 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishopport, 18 minutes, 8094 to merge. I-80 westbound traffic is slow. I-55 Shepley with work in the right lane. 8094 westbound, the exit Grant is closed with a collision. It says Grant Street blocked between 8094 and 25th Avenue. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, a cool day ahead. Clouds and sunshine, a high of 58. We have clouds at O'Hare, 46. Clear skies along the lakefront, 50. And the cool spot, 43 in Aurora this morning. Your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The question, should Trump be pressing foreign governments to investigate what he believes could be criminal wrongdoing by Joe Biden or anybody else? And I say this not as a matter of impeachment, but as a matter of just good judgment. I mean, what are Chinese communists going to provide that American investigators can't determine themselves? Right. Even the Ukrainians under Zelensky, which is an improvement, were we to rely on what Ukrainian investigators and prosecutors do more so than American investigators and prosecutors? You have this ongoing investigation being conducted on behalf of the Justice Department by U.S. Attorney John Durham. Why not just let that play out?
Well, I mean, he openly called for a foreign power to investigate his political rival while he's facing an impeachment threat for allegedly asking a foreign power to investigate his political rival.
312-642-5600, Turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, Turnkey.pro text line. Here's Trump making that call.
What exactly did you hope Zelensky would do about the Bidens after your phone call? Exactly.
Well, I would think that if they were honest about it, they'd start a major investigation into the Bidens. It's a very simple answer. They should investigate the Bidens, because how does a company that's newly formed, and all these companies, if you look at, and by the way, likewise, China should start an investigation into the Bidens, because what happened in China is just about as bad as what happened with Ukraine. So I would say that President Zelensky, if it were me, I would recommend that they start an investigation into the Bidens, because nobody has any doubt that they weren't crooked. That was a crooked deal, 100%. He had no knowledge of energy, didn't know the first thing about it. All of a sudden, he's getting $50,000 a month, plus a lot of other things. Nobody has any doubt. And they got rid of a prosecutor who was a very tough prosecutor. They got rid of him. Now they're trying to make it the opposite way, but they got rid. So if I were the president, I would certainly recommend that of Ukraine.
Yeah, so you heard him say Ukraine and China. He characterizes the prosecutor Shokin that was deposed. There's a lot to believe that he wasn't a very tough prosecutor, but who knows? I mean, part of this is just a sort of this rhetorical outsourcing again to foreign governments when you have an investigation into 2016 ongoing. Now, that may or may not loop in the Bidens, but with respect to Hunter's business dealing, but so what? Why not let the Barr/Durham investigation play out for itself and suggest that, look, the one former prosecutor there, Lutsenko, we played this week, said as far as he knows, Joe Biden didn't violate any Ukrainian laws.
It's not American laws, but Ukrainian laws.
Right. Just like, Paul Manafort isn't being prosecuted for violating Ukrainian laws. He's being prosecuted and imprisoned for violating American laws. So just happens to be in part with Ukrainians. So why not just leave it there? And if there's something more than a conflict of interest, then the statute, I don't think, has run, unlike the Foreign Practices Corruption Act and so forth. Let that play out on the American side.
And this is what he said in reference to China and the Bidens.
I have a lot of options on China, but if they don't do what we want, we have tremendous power.
If they don't do what we want, we have tremendous power. That sounds like if they don't investigate, don't do what we want, then we have the power to do what exactly? I know. If I were him and if I was one of his aides, no, I don't think he understands the gravity of this situation and the magnitude of it. Just stop talking about it. That's what I think, but I don't know. 312-642-5600, Turnkey.pro answer.
I have no problem with him defending himself and pushing back. It's not talking about it. It's what he's saying.
Yeah, you don't need a whistleblower. I mean, he just openly said that he encouraged Ukraine and China to investigate the Bidens. Is that breaking the law? I don't know. Help me out.
No.
Okay.
This isn't about breaking the law, and it's not about an impeachable offense. It's just about good judgment. It's just about doing the thing that is most politically savvy in context. And if you want the focus to be on the Bidens, why would you be calling for investigations by foreign governments, particularly the Chinese, that you wouldn't trust anyway? Wait, you mean you want an investigation by the same people who you call thieves? They steal our intellectual property. They manipulate our currency. Mm-hmm. They're not honest brokers when it comes to trade policy. But you believe that they're going to do you a solid that you could trust when it comes to an investigation of the private equity firm that, oh, by the way, Chinese-connected plutocrats, because those are the only kind of Chinese government-connected plutocrats, because those are the only kind of plutocrats that exist, pumped $1.5 billion into that private equity fund. So now you're suggesting the Chinese are going to investigate themselves?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. Marvin in Burlington, Wisconsin.
Yeah, good morning. I think you sort of, this guy doesn't speak like a statesman, obviously. He's not a diplomat. He's not a trained politician, thank God. He speaks from the heart. The guy's aggravated. And, I don't, who cares? Maybe the Chinese will come up with something. It's their money. Maybe they're not happy with the way this Biden kid's spending their money. And, who's he supposed to trust? He's supposed to trust his FBI. He's supposed to trust his national security people. I don't think he can trust them either.
Well,
here, and one more thing. Yeah,
okay.
one more thing. This guy yesterday, Tom, that calls all the time, that they can't stand the Republican Party. And, the Republican Party it doesn't have the decorum. It doesn't have this. Trump says this. Trump says that. You know what? We sat around for the last 3-4 decades and watched the Democrats and the idiot liberals walk all over us. Finally, we got somebody that's going to stand up and counterpunch, or even go on offense. This guy's the best thing that we've had in a long time. Believe me.
All right, thanks for the call, Marvin. I get the last point, but in terms of the now I've forgotten the point that he made earlier about the Chinese. Maybe they'll come up with something. No, I've lost it. Okay. Craig in Mount Greenwood.
Hey, Dan and Amy. First of all, I agree with you, Dan, about that whole issue with China and all that. But putting that aside, Trump has every right and really obligation, and it's the right thing to do to basically look at all these stories about Biden and what goes on in China and everything. And you got stuff with Kerry's kids. You got all stuff with the Clintons, with that foundation getting all that money from the other part of the world and everything from Muslim countries and all stuff like that. And the thing is, the fact that he, just like Marvin just said, that I agree with that guy. That guy knows what's going on. Trump can't even trust any of these people.
Oh, yes, that was the point. Hold on a second, Chris. So that was the point I was going to make per Marvin's, which is, he can't trust perhaps some in the CIA. He can't trust some perhaps at the FBI, even though he's got his own a nominated director there now. How about the Department of Justice? He's expressed nothing but faith in Bill Barr. How about letting Bill Barr and the man that he's designated to do the 2016 review, John Durham, how about letting them complete their investigation? And yes, you defend yourself in real time on the false allegations that are being promulgated by the left and the impeachment theater that they're producing. But then look to the future, because remember, that's what elections are about. And sawing sawdust over Joe Biden's intervention in Ukrainian politics or the Clinton Foundation from several years ago just doesn't have a lot of currency right now. Let the people you have expressed faith in do their jobs.
I mean, we can't work out
Thanks
tariffs.
for the call, Craig.
We can't work out tariffs right now with China. You think they're going to investigate Biden and his wrongdoing? They're not going to touch that. I mean, even if President Trump asked them to, which he did basically by making that public statement yesterday, they're not going to do it.
It doesn't matter if they do it or not. It doesn't even matter. These are communist thugs.
Right.
These are the descendants of regimes that have and by the way, they continue in that vein. Look at what's happening in Hong Kong. Descendants of Mao and communists that piled up 100 million person body count in the last 70 years. Are you kidding? What are you talking about? How can anyone have any faith in what the Chinese would produce as it pertains to, a law enforcement action in the United States, much less a political process in the United States? You think the Chinese are interested in helping us shore up our representative republic? There are friendly adversaries? No. Come on. Mike in Plano.
Hey, listen, he's not saying that stuff expecting a country like China to investigate. He says it to manipulate the media, to control the narrative, and to get the average person out there that's not like you or me who follows this stuff to actually pay attention to it. So it's nothing to get all worked up about. And someone like Amy that just says, oh, Trump just needs to stay out of it, well, that's how Republicans lose. So if you want to join the Republican crowd, then listen to Amy Jacobson.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike.
The what crowd did he call it?
Republicant?
Republicans crowd, okay.
Art in Huntley.
Hey, good morning. What I was going to mention to you is, why are we investigating everybody else? How about Dick Durbin's wife is a lobbyist, and his son 2 months ago, their son got $1 million no-bid contract with the government. Why can't we investigate Dick Durbin, who is the most honest person, and he never says anything until everybody's piled on, and he comes up with some stupid thing. I'm so sick of him.
Which foreign country would you like to investigate Durbin? I mean, I'm thanks for the call, Art. It's a fair point about Durbin and his lovely wife Loretta, and that wall between them. You know, her lobbying practice and his actions as a sitting United States senator.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's nothing nefarious going on.
Yeah, and the Chicago press corps, you can count on them to be Johnny on the spot when it comes to Dick Durbin or Democrat corruption. I mean, it's a joke.
Well, yeah, his daughter-in-law is an anchor at ABC7. Dick Durbin's daughter.
Oh yeah, Tanya Babbitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's about to be a grandpa.
It's just wonderful. It's a Frank Capra story. I get what you're saying, but I just think the net effect is he doesn't really control the narrative. In fact, he sort of steps on a narrative that's otherwise unfolding in his favor. It's just not. I just don't think it's helpful. So I'm not getting all worked up about it. I just don't think it's productive. Trump's pronouncement, that is, yesterday in particular. Jim in Naperville.
Dan, unfortunately, I do get worked up about it. You can hear from your other listeners. People are very frustrated. And going back to the point, you say that the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton infractions, all that stuff have very little. Would you use the term? Very little legitimacy.
Yeah, currency. They're just not interest. Yeah.
Currency.
Yeah.
Right. But that's exactly the point. Nothing came of it. No one was held accountable, and we have the feeling that is exactly what's going to happen with these investigations, regardless of who performs it, as long as the American government, who is as corrupt as the people, the perpetrators, and if they bury it, we have a do-nothing Republican Party that will not get out there in front of it and insist that people be held accountable. No one's been held accountable yet, other than a few people getting fired and losing their jobs, which they rightly should have been.
I understand that, Jim, but let me ask you this. I mean, that doesn't mean it's judicious to get out over your skis. And I say that to say,
I understand.
Do you agree with Trump that Bill Barr is doing a good job as Attorney General? Do you agree that he's somebody who should be trusted? Do you see evidence from reporting that he and Durham are pursuing this 2016 review with alacrity and in a comprehensive way? I would check all of those boxes.
So.
I would check all of those boxes from what we know from the reporting, and so let those guys play that out. Because if you can't let people you say you trust do their jobs and let their work product speak for itself, then you're really in a bad position.
Well, we're not there yet. We haven't.
I know.
Seen
That's
the
why.
results.
That's why I think we should wait. But I mean, there's no suggestion that that there's concern that Barr and Durham aren't doing everything the president hoped they would do in terms of a comprehensive look back at 2016. So let them finish that work.
No, there is, because previous people that were put in positions that we had faith in, Mueller. We remember how Mueller was praised as a guy who was going to be a straight arrow, going to go in there and do the thing, and he turned into a total doofus, just a figurehead, abused by the left. It's been failure after failure, and people putting faith in these people that are supposed to be in leadership roles, and they continue to fail us. I've yet to see one that has come through, so I certainly hope that Bill Barr comes through, and Durham and Horowitz. I was promised a year ago that Horowitz was going to come through with something. I've yet to see anything.
Yeah.
You know, and hopefully it's because
Well-
they're expanding and encompassing everyone in their investigation, because new things keep coming up. You know, but there's a point at which we have to make a stand and hold these people accountable, especially before the election.
All right, I hear you, Jim. Thanks for the call. I mean, it's not nothing from Horowitz. I mean, you have the report on Comey that was hardly glowing. You have pending grand jury on Andy McCabe, Comey's deputy, and the suggestion that there's no deal to be made and that McCabe is more likely than not to be indicted. Now, again, that hasn't happened. I understand people's impatience. I mean, it's sort of like talking about political corruption in Chicago and Illinois. It's like you hear about these investigations. When do we see some actual results from what we know the kleptocrats are doing to this city and state? It's sort of the same thing at the federal level. I get it. I understand the frustration. Dan in Libertyville.
I couldn't disagree with you more, and I think the other callers are right. I'm going to tell you, Trump is coming after him, and he's coming after him like the guy from Tombstone. I'm coming after you, and Alan's coming with me.
I think that was, thanks for the call, I think that's a High Plains Drifter. Am I right on that? Do I have any other Eastwood files here? I think that's High Plains Drifter. I'm coming and hell's coming with me. Am I right? Well, I'm sure we do in the audience. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Can you confirm that I know more about Clint Eastwood movies than Dan from Libertyville? All right, thanks, Dan.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you looking to improve your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at Pheasant Run in St. Charles. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home, inside and out. Get trusted advice on your upcoming projects as you speak with local and national experts who will help you with all your home improvement needs. And be sure to attend the free expert seminars and see live product demonstrations all weekend. Be sure to grab your fall plants, flowers, and pumpkins by We Grow Dreams and Sunny Acres, and so much more. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend at Pheasant Run in St. Charles, with free admission and free parking. For more details, visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com. That's pheasantrunhomeshow.com. Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend in St. Charles. Visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com for more details.
Tasty Catering invites you to come together this holiday season and celebrate with great food and great company.
Since 1989, Tasty Catering has been planning memorable holiday office parties all over Chicagoland and bringing your team together this year in the spirit of the season.
Their delicious holiday menu at tastycatering.com features all the amazing appetizers and entrees, savory side dishes, and decadent desserts that you'll need for the ideal holiday office party.
From elegant plated dinners to casual company buffets and festive cocktail hours.
Stop by their Elk Grove Village Kitchen and meet their award-winning catering family and sample some of their new and classic holiday menu dishes.
The experienced holiday events team is ready to take you step by step through the planning process, simply and stress-free.
Don't delay. Call Tasty Catering at 847-593-2000 or view the holiday menu online at tastycatering.com.
That's 847-593-2000. tastycatering.com. Holidays. Gather, eat, and enjoy together.
One of the biggest fears for retirees and soon-to-be retirees, do I have enough? Do I have enough money to last for the rest of my life? I hear it every day when I meet with individuals, and it's for good reason. Check this statistic out. If you were born in 1800, you could expect to live until you were 39 years old. In 1900, 49. That number jumped to 68 in 1950, and today it's 79. How many people do you know that are in their 80s, in their 90s? Hi, this is Tom Fortino, host of the Alpha Wealth Hour, heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. here on AM 560. So how do you help ensure you never run out of money in retirement? The answers are in our special report, Maximizing Income in Retirement. In this powerful report, you'll discover successful tools and strategies on how to help turbocharge your income in retirement and how to position and protect your money regardless of what happens in the stock market. Call now to receive this report, Maximizing Income in Retirement, and will include 6 strategies to tax-free income. Call the Alpha Wealth Group, 630-519-4742 right now to receive your free report. That's 630-519-4742.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
AM 560, The Answer.
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear?
I don't know anything anymore.
Coming with me!
I don't know anything
You're
anymore.
having a bad day. Just regroup. You'll be
Dan
okay.
from Libertyville was right. It's Tombstone, not even a Clint Eastwood movie. I'm thinking of Unforgiven. It's Kurt Russell as Wyatt Earp in Tombstone. And it is Hell's Coming, and I'm coming, and Hell's coming with me. Dan from Liberty, I owe you an apology. You are the superior moviophile in intellect. I genuflect before you.
How are you going to get over this?
I think I'm
Shake it off.
I'm gonna have to watch Tombstone again, which is a great movie, by the way. Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Oh, yeah.
Why, Johnny Ringo? I'm afraid we might not be friends anymore. John in Lincolnwood, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, Dan and Amy. I had to call in because I was listening to the conversation. And Amy, I'm sorry, I couldn't disagree with you more. I think when Trump keeps bringing this stuff up, I think it's absolutely great. The other day on his tweet when he called BS, I thought it was great. I mean, I know it's not presidential, but I'm so sick and tired of hearing he's not presidential. We all know he's not presidential.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you know what? He's bringing up stuff that no other politician would ever have done. No other Republican in any form or way would have ever brought up anything that he's doing. And I think he's doing a great job. He makes me laugh. And you know what? I'm like, I love how he puts Schiff and Pelosi and all these people on, like he makes them a target, especially Biden. And where is Hunter? What's going on?
He's hiding. He's with his new young wife.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, John.
That he married
Appreciate
after
it.
10 days.
Yeah, we laugh, we cry, he becomes a part of us. It's like cats.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk a little bit more about impeachment with some text messages and the Volcker testimony behind closed doors at 6:06.
But it's now 6 a.m. and time for Fox News on AM 560, The Answer.
It's deadline day for the White House. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, but it is countering demands from House Democrats with a demand of its own. Fox's Rachel Sutherland is live in Washington.
Dave, the White House is expected to send a letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying it won't comply with Democrats' demands unless they hold a formal vote on the floor outlining the parameters of the impeachment probe. This as Democrats could send subpoenas for documents related to military aid to Ukraine as soon as today if the White House doesn't hand over the information voluntarily. Speaker Pelosi sent a letter to House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy yesterday arguing there is no requirement under the Constitution, under House rules, or House precedent that the whole House vote before proceeding. Dave.
Rachel, in a few hours, the Inspector General for the Intelligence Community will be questioned in private. The day after Kurt Volker was behind closed doors for 9 hours, the special envoy to Ukraine who resigned last month.
Any comments that would indicate that there was some nefarious purpose on behalf of this president was not backed up by the facts.
That's Republican Congressman Mark Meadows. Text messages Volker handed over did come out.
House Democrats were saying texts were taken out of context in which a State Department official said the president did not want any quid pro quo with Ukraine. They released dozens of additional texts, shedding more light on the involvement of State Department officials in the effort to get Ukraine to clean up corruption and investigate the energy company Burisma. Joe Biden's son Hunter was on the board of Burisma.
As Fox's Sean Langell, the president, added to the drama, asking China to investigate the Bidens, prompting Democrats to again allege he's violating his oath of office, wanting a foreign country to investigate his political rival. More demonstrations in Iraq. And more deaths as the anti-government protesters clash with security forces in the city of Nasiriyah. 9 were killed. It's up to 42 dead this week. Iraq's prime minister is urging protesters to go home. America's listening to Fox News.
Skies are mostly clear. We have a mixture of clouds and clear over the area, for example. We are cloudy at O'Hare, but clear along the lakefront. 46 across the area at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Here are the stories we are following on WIND Chicago. Dwight Doty, guilty of murdering 9-year-old Tyshawn Lee in Chicago in 2015. Jurors convicted him yesterday of shooting Tyshawn Lee execution style after luring him into a Southside alley. A separate jury deciding the second person involved in this case, his fate, by the way, has not been decided because the jury could not reach a verdict and that jury has been sequestered. More details have emerged about the FBI raid in McCook. Newly released documents show the raid at McCook Village Hall specifically targeted Village President and Cook County Commissioner Jeff Tobolsky's computer hard drives and items linked to the village's exposition center. Chicago police officer and 2 others are in stable condition after they were bit by a dog on the west side. The loose canine attacked a man and a woman in the 2400 block of Lawndale Avenue. A sergeant at the scene later shot and killed that dog after it attacked an officer. The investigation continues into 7 who remain hospitalized after a Pink Line train crashed into a vehicle in suburban Cicero. It happened on 47th Avenue last night when the driver apparently tried to go around rail crossing gates that were down. Blackhawks open the NHL season today against the Flyers in Prague. That's a 1 p.m. Chicago area start time this afternoon. Bears and Raiders working out, getting ready for their face-off Sunday in London. Playoff baseball, Dodgers blank the Nationals in the NLDS 6-0. The American League Division Series gets underway today. Rays and Astros, Yankees and Twins. The news service of Panera Bread. At Panera, get breakfast that's fast, not fast food. Try new Chipotle chicken, scrambled egg, avocado breakfast wrap. Pair it with a premium, freshly ground, freshly brewed coffee, all ready to go with a push of a button. Panera, food as it should be. 6:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher thinks Democrats are trying to have it both ways.
I thought they were worried about foreign interference in our election. I thought they were worried. I thought that was a big deal. I guess it's not a big deal now that Trump won, right? 3 years ago. Now they don't want an investigation into countries meddling in our election? Which, incidentally, that's a two-way street.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and just because summer is over doesn't mean it's too late to paint your home. Fall is a great time to check painting off your to-do list. By now, I think I've had my entire home painted by CertaPro painters. They really are the best. You know, CertaPro painters make painting this fall easy and quick. They have more availability, which means you can have your home professionally painted much faster. Cooler weather is arriving, so it is time to think about protecting your home from the elements once again. Have CertaPro painters paint the exterior of your home as well. And with kids going back to school and the family moving back indoors, get excited about cozy nights with a new look from CertaPro painters. Don't put it off. It's time to hire CertaPro painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Or call 800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro painters, we do painting, you do life.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year automatically, with no limit to how much they'll match. Millions of people a year are getting their cash back matched. Discover Cash Back Match. What are you waiting for? Learn more at discover.com/cashbackmatch.
6:07 on AM 560. It is time for a dry basement and a healthy home. Time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. And a check of the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In Gary, Grant Street remains closed between 8094 and 25th Avenue due to a collision involving a car and a semi. Westbound 8094 exit to Grant is closed. Westbound I-80 traffic's tied I-55 to Shepley with some work in the right lane. The Edens is okay. The Kennedy, 22 minutes. O'Hare to downtown up on 24. Westbound 190 is congested at O'Hare. Mount Eisenhower, 38 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. Stevenson now 42 minutes, 355 for Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 16 minutes, I-80 converge. Bishop Ford, 30 minutes, 80-94 to the ride. Tollways are light, that's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Times of sun and clouds. It'll be cool today. The high 58, partly cloudy tonight, low 47. Tomorrow, cloudy with a bit of rain for the late afternoon, the high 63. Partly sunny, breezy on Sunday, high 64. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
46 at O'Hare. Next news at 6:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour Radio Show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. And yesterday, Kurt Volker, the former special envoy to Ukraine, testified before the House Intel Committee behind closed doors. But Jim Jordan and Mark Meadows took some time out from the inquiry to provide the outside world a bit of an insight. Here's what Jordan had to say.
I will just say this. We've, first of all, Ambassador Volker, unbelievably knowledgeable about what was going on in Ukraine, just a true professional in our diplomatic corps, but not one thing he has said comports with any of the Democrats' impeachment narrative. Not one thing. But I will tell you this, the process Mr. Schiff has set up, Mr. Schiff was going to try to limit members from even asking questions when we started today's interview. The fact that he won't let agency counsel, State Department counsel participate. I've participated in, many of us have, Mark and I with the Oversight Committee have participated in countless number of transcribed interviews. We have never, ever had an occasion where agency counsel was not allowed to participate, where there were limitations put on our staff who could be there to assist in the interview. And we've never seen a chairman suggest that members aren't allowed to ask questions. So if this is how Mr. Schiff is going to conduct these type of interviews in the future, that's a concern as well. But Ambassador Volker has been very impressive, and as I said, has said nothing that coincides with what the Democrats are saying with their whole impeachment narrative.
Well, and what they were saying and what the government press corps was reporting yesterday about Volker's testimony per sources and so forth.
Leaked text messages.
Yeah, the text messages.
Let's go over those.
Talk about the text messages a bit, because this is supposed to be, these text messages are supposed to be a real indictment of Trump. But in context, actually, they seem to comply more with what Jim Jordan just said. 60 pages of text messages and other documents were provided by former special envoy Volker. Showed some senior State Department officials that were upset Trump was delaying the military aid to Ukraine.
And they also wanted to set up a face-to-face meeting with him.
Yes.
One text message from Volker. Good lunch. Thanks. Heard from White House, assuming President Z convinces Trump he will investigate, get to the bottom of what happened in 2016. We'll nail down a date for a visit to Washington. Good luck. See you tomorrow, Kurt.
Wow,
so inflammatory.
There was another, I think it's from Bill Taylor, the charge d'affaires at the U.S. Embassy in Kiev. I think it's crazy to withhold security assistance for help with a political campaign, but that generated a response from Gordon Sondland, the U.S. ambassador to the European Union. Bill, I believe you're incorrect about President Trump's intentions. The president has been crystal clear, no quid pro quo of any kind. The president is trying to evaluate whether Ukraine is truly going to adopt the transparency and reforms that President Zelensky promised during his campaign. And this is why Meadows and Jordan pronounced yesterday, per Volker's testimony, there definitely was no quid pro quo.
Because it says it right there.
Well, yes,
mean-
but I mean, it's diplomats arguing, and
Right.
there's always posturing involved too. So I mean, you can't take everything at face value, but it certainly was. There was certainly disagreement about this, and it could be disagreement based in terms of attitude about the president or partisan affiliation. I mean, these things factor in. They're certainly part of the conversation. There's a report out yesterday that from one leak that the whistleblower is. Identifies as a Democrat, that he's, quote unquote, a registered Democrat. We don't know, but that's one leak and one story that's out yesterday.
And then, according to the Washington Post, I mean, ancillary issue, but there's another IRS whistleblower who alleges interference with the Trump audit. So, I mean,
that's a whole separate thing in the Treasury Department. And that's a good example of once you allow for a whistleblower to and in collaboration with the opposition party to drive impeachment or any other inquiry, then you're going to encourage more. I mean, you should encourage whistleblowers who have a legitimate basis, and I don't know if this whistleblower at Treasury does or not, but it's going to be a lot of sifting through to determine which are partisan hacks trying to just throw more wrenches into the works, and which have something legitimate on which to blow the whistle, as it were.
And we don't know if this is hearsay or if they had first-person knowledge of it, but it's a backup, Dan, in case this doesn't work out.
It's also
the Ukrainian impeachment doesn't work out, then this.
It's also about the tax returns. It has nothing to do with Ukraine. This is at Treasury Department or any of this other business. Going back to Volker's testimony. One source telling Politico, Volker testified he wanted a broader statement on Ukrainians fighting corruption. Giuliani, though, pushed for a statement more narrowly focused on Burisma, the energy company in question, and a possible Ukrainian role in the 2016 election, which Politico reported on, Ukrainians involved in trying to interfere on behalf of Hillary Clinton, a Politico report in 2017. No statement was ever drafted, however, according to Volker. Volker told investigators, allegedly, he warned Giuliani that he was being fed some incorrect information on the Bidens from Ukrainian contacts, including Yuri Lutsenko, the country's former top prosecutor. I go back again to say what we were saying yesterday and what Dan Henninger wrote in the Wall Street Journal, lost in Ukraine. I mean, if you think the American electorate is going to keep track of all of these players and all of these conversations and all of these communication channels, and make sense of it.
It's so inside baseball, and people's eyes are, rolling over with all of this.
Speaking of Ukrainian prosecutors, Jim Garrity, National Review, makes a good point. One item that's overlooked in the conversation: the investigation into Burisma had been reopened by a prosecutor appointed by the previous Ukrainian president, Poroshenko. Kulik, a deputy for Mr. Lutsenko, who was handling cases before being reassigned last month, this from a New York Times May 1st report, told the New York Times that he was scrutinizing the millions of dollars of payments that from Burisma to the firm that paid Hunter Biden. So it's not quite accurate to say Trump and Giuliani wanted the Ukrainians to investigate Hunter Biden. They wanted them to reopen the investigation to Hunter Biden and Burisma that the New York Times reported had been pursued by the successor to Lutsenko. You got all that? I barely do.
Please don't quiz me later.
But this is all important because and what you have is by the government press corps, as well as, of course, the Democrats, is the ends justify the means. Show me the man and I'll show you the crime, Soviet-style justice. And what we know from Adam Schiff in particular is that his role in this almost deserves a separate investigation. So the House Intel Committee chairman just lionized at Northwestern.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, last night. Standing ovation for Adam Schiff at my alma mater for a lecture on the dangers to democracy. He is one of them.
He is a danger to democracy. That's funny.
But of course, the value of my degree just went down again, as it always does anytime Northwestern's in the news. Kim Strassel, though, over at the Journal, the timeline on Schiff. He went so far as to charge the White House with a cover-up of a complaint he already knew about. Good summary. The timeline of his orchestrated campaign is another knock to the legitimacy of the so-called impeachment inquiry. On September 13th, Schiff issued the explosive news he had been alerted a few days earlier by the Intel community's Inspector General of an urgent yet unspecified whistleblower complaint. But the complaint is dated August 12th, and news reports that now say the whistleblower interacted with Schiff and his staff prior to then. So how did he just find out on September 13th? He knew about the topic of the complaint for more than a month when the public did not. For instance, on August 23rd, Schiff tweeted that Trump tried to get dirt on a political opponent via Rudy Giuliani's interaction with the office of the Ukrainian president. On August 28th, he tweeted his newfound concern that Trump was withholding vital military aid to Ukraine. On September 9th, he suddenly announced his committee would launch a full-fledged investigation into whether Mr. Trump was trying to pressure Ukraine to help with his re-election campaign. All this, Strassel writes, was priming the pump and the media for what was to come to better take full advantage of the whistleblower news, in quotation marks. Even after the news broke, Schiff played dumb, as we've played here. On September 17th, he flatly denied on MSNBC any interaction. We have not spoken directly with the whistleblower. 2 days later, he thanked Inspector General Michael Atkinson, without whom we might not even have known there was a whistleblower complaint. Really? Schiff wanted to make it sound like the Trump administration was muzzling the complainant when, in fact, the process was working and Schiff knew all about it. Slimy business. And outside of Kim Strassel and conservative talk, where is this being covered? Where is Schiff being held to account with all of his various media appearances and now apparently appearances on college campuses? Big issues. You think Schiff is coming to the table with clean hands?
No.
Obviously not.
Yet he's being honored at your alma mater. What a shame.
And so, Schiff's orchestration here, as so well documented by Kim Strassel, is completely ignored, while we're all supposed to, bow our heads in shame when Chuck Todd offers a pronouncement like he did yesterday.
But let's be frank, a national nightmare is upon us. The basic rules of our democracy are under attack from the president. We begin tonight with a series of admissions by the president that all but assures his impeachment in the House of Representatives.
Oh, okay, really?
It's a moment of truth for Republicans, and they've been largely silent on what we've seen from the president. Today, he publicly called on 2 foreign governments to interfere in the presidential election by investigating his chief 2020 political rival.
What exactly did you hope Zelensky would do about the...
Yeah, we've heard that call before. The national nightmare. We're in the midst of a national nightmare. The interesting thing Chuck Todd, though, does with his breathless commentary, all but assuring his impeachment in the House. Well, perhaps that's exactly what the White House is angling for. Axios reporting that the White House is planning to send Nancy Pelosi a letter as soon as today, arguing that President Trump and his team can ignore lawmakers' demands until she holds a full House vote, formally approving an impeachment inquiry. And this matters because it provides the White House time to prepare for a court fight, arguing that to the public that its resistance to Congress' requests are justified. Axios suggests that Trump wants to force House Democrats in vulnerable races to be on the record if they favor pursuing impeachment. So, you want to go all in, then you have to follow the process to go all in. You don't get to skip steps and hedge your bets. So you want to make this the central issue of 2020? You want to make this the question in voters' minds when they go to the polls? Whether impeachment, the pursuit of removing the president from office was proper or not, legitimate or not? Okay, bring it on. Marty in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, great show as always. Amy hit the nail on the head with just one little statement she made a little while ago. Is the IRS whistleblower is now, next week when this is gone, that's what's next. Now the one thing that was reported,
what's ongoing?
in July, this IRS whistleblower did go through the proper channels then. I heard that this morning. So this is it's going to be one thing after another. This piece of Schiff is just an idiot. And then last night in Northwestern, he's talking about, well, I really didn't want to do this.
Oh, no. No.
It's ridiculous.
Thanks for the call, Marty.
He's the hero in all this, Dan, don't you know?
Like Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff is both heartbroken, and when he's not speaking at Northwestern, he is in prayerful reflection about the future of President Trump, his political future, in the context of the future of our republic, of course, because Adam Schiff is nothing if not a statesman. Good grief. By the way, I still can't get over my misidentification of I'm Coming and Hell's Coming With Me from Tombstone. So I want to explain myself.
Oh, wait, let's play it first.
You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
I already did the perfect 10 impersonation of Kurt Russell as Wyatt Earp in Tombstone.
Right.
I just did that when I said hell is coming. I'm coming and hell is coming with me.
Oh, okay.
That is perfect. It's a perfect 10. It's a wonderful. It was perfect.
Okay, Trump.
Perfect.
Perfect. It's wonderful.
So, but
stuck
in
the landing,
High Plains Drifter, so then I'm thinking Eastwood because I was thinking. I'm thinking Eastwood because of the hell's coming. Remember in High Plains Drifter at the end? What does he have the town renamed? The town of Lago. It's crossed off. When he has the whole town painted red, then he names it Hell.
Oh.
So then so that's what I had in my head, and then I conflate Tombstone with Unforgiven, and why it's a mess.
It's gonna be okay.
It's muddled thinking, and I apologize because I can't make those kind of rookie mistakes. But I just wanted to try and explain myself as I seek contrition for my transgression.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Listen up, Chicago area. Are you interested in making active and passive income each month flipping real estate tax liens? Then listen to this. The ProSource Tax Lien Company is offering a free tax lien flip kit, which contains educational videos and a step-by-step report that will show you how to earn government-regulated returns up to 18% that are secured by real estate. Plus, see how you can access tax lien inventory not available to the public. So, if you want to become a real estate investor without swinging a hammer or being a landlord, then text Chicago to 31,000 now to get your free tax lien flip kit and get ready to learn how to flip tax liens and acquire houses well below wholesale prices with great profit potential, all from home working part-time. Text Chicago to 31,000 right now to get your free tax lien investor kit, plus 2 free tickets to a live training event, which includes a free smartwatch just for attending. Text Chicago to 31,000. That's Chicago to 31,000 for your free tax lien kit now. Individual results may vary.
None of the boys at Northridge Prep would have made the Tombstone Unforgiven mistake that I made.
You got to shake it off and you got to regroup. I'm here to coach you.
If
you want to stay in the game and start, you're going to need to refocus.
I think I've lost a step. I don't know if I can get it back. I think
maybe a breakfast from Denny's will help.
I think my playing days are done. I need to be kicked upstairs to the front office. Imagine your son excited to go to school each day, a school where he gets to throw snowballs and play tag, where his teachers understand that boys learn differently, where he gets the one-on-one advice he needs to become a man of character. I have friends who send their sons there. 2 things they love. First, at Northridge Prep, every teacher is a role model. Through the advisory program, all students have a faculty mentor who looks out for your son like an older brother. They have regular conversations about being tough, generous, and setting goals. Secondly, Northridge Prep's common sense approach to cell phones. Cell phones are powerful tools, but they don't belong in school. 0 distractions, 0 cell phones. My friends appreciate how much more social and outgoing their sons are at school. It's a paper and pen approach that just works, as it always has. I encourage you to learn all about Northridge Prep by attending their open house on Sunday, October 20th. Sunday, October 20th is that open house. Register online at northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
Want your home's furnace to stay safe and reliable? And want to prevent any potential problems before they happen? At your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, we recommend an annual furnace inspection and tune-up. Right now, get big savings on a furnace tune-up. Call 855-1-HOUR. Because not taking care of your furnace, that's just cold.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
So, Dan, you saw Joker last night? Can you discuss?
We'll get to the reviews. I don't want to spoil too much for you because I know you're going to see it this weekend.
I'm seeing it Saturday. But should I still bring Peyton and Eli?
Yeah, but there are a couple scenes that are pretty tough. just so you know.
Violence-wise?
Yeah.
Well, they did see it, too, so that was pretty bad.
Yeah,
There's a lot of cannibalism going on.
This is more of a nihilistic violence. It's different.
Okay, well, we'll discuss it.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael Medved. Believe it or not, the calendar says October, yes, it's fall. Leaves are starting to change colors. And for you, maybe you're starting to feel your energy level falling. Maybe you're having trouble sleeping, or maybe you have seasonal allergies. Here's what we do know. You're not getting enough fruits and veggies in your diet. Pumpkin spice in that latte does not count as a vegetable. So it's time to get healthy before the holiday season starts and take Balance of Nature. With just 6 capsules of Balance of Nature, you're getting 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies. You hear the stories right here on this station about how people's lives have changed by taking Balance of Nature. The next story could be yours, but you've got to order Balance of Nature today. And right now, if you call or go online, you can become a preferred customer. What does that mean? Well, it awards you the best pricing and free shipping, and you'll receive an additional $25 off your first order. It's a limited time offer, so do not wait. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Use discount code Chicago or go to balanceofnature.com. Discount code Chicago.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. We know how important it is to take a partner in the passenger seat when you're on a long road trip. You need a trusted friend and a voice to help you navigate through the hills and valleys of your journey. We want to be that voice for you on your road to retirement.
Absolutely. Our whole team at Wealth Management Group will be by your side for the long haul.
Let Wealth Management Group be your compass and your guide to retirement.
Find us at investwithwmg.com and tune in each week to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and speaking of leftist extremists, did you see this? The Freedom from Religion Foundation, anti-religious extremists. You all hear often about religious extremists. How about anti-religious extremists? That's these people. Here's an example of what I mean. They have sent a letter to the Texas State Commission on Judicial Conduct complaining that District Court Judge Tammy Kemp proselytized, overstepped her judicial authority, and acted in an inappropriate and unconstitutional way. Judge Tammy Kemp in the Amber Geiger case.
Because she gave her Bible?
Exactly.
And said, what did she say? Like, study this for the next month. She gave her some advice and encouragement. She gave her her personal Bible that she reads from every day and she has for years.
And she just said, you did a terrible thing, but what you do now matters, in handing over her Bible. And that is overstepping judicial authority, inappropriate, unconstitutional, proselytizing, according to the Freedom from Religion Atheist Crank Foundation.
Too bad. As you say, pound sand.
Well, I mean, it does, in God we trust at the courthouses and so on and so forth. That's the one area where you rarely get anybody in any public office overstepping or being too aggressive. It was a wonderful moment between the judge and that former police officer convicted of murder, as was of course the moment that everybody was talking about between the victim's brother and that former police officer. But it's an absurd letter that was sent from the Freedom of Religion Foundation. You know why? Because it's an absurd group.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
Bobby De Niro, who's in Joker, by the way.
Oh,
it's interesting. I'll explain his role. It's sort of a role reversal from a film he made a couple of decades ago that was actually very good. But Bobby De Niro's got some other problems.
Yeah, he's involved in the Me Too movement now. Oh, looky here.
6:36.
But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
47 degrees. There's word of progress this morning leaking out of Detroit toward ending the General Motors strike, now in day 19. Iraq's premier this morning urging anti-government protesters to go home, saying their legitimate demands have been heard as the death toll from the protest violence rose to 42. Masked protesters are streaming through the streets in central Hong Kong after the city's embattled leader invoked rarely used emergency powers to try and ban those masks at rallies in a hardening of the government stance after 4 months of demonstrations. President Trump wants China to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter, but Chinese officials say they have little interest in getting involved right now.
Because nobody has any doubt that they weren't crooked. That was a crooked deal, 100%.
Meantime, Congressman Adam Schiff blasting the president over allegations he requested to have foreign powers interfere in the U.S. election process. Speaking in Evanston last night at Northwestern University, the California Democrat Adam Schiff called the president's actions pernicious.
As we saw today, all too staggeringly, the president is now quite overtly once again calling on a foreign nation, today China, to intervene in our election by doing a sham investigation of his opponent.
In other news we're following this morning, a Chicago judge is expected to decide today whether to let a former U.S. attorney stay on as special prosecutor examining the dismissal of charges against actor Jussie Smollett. The hearing today comes after Dan Webb revealed he co-hosted a fundraiser for Kim Foxx and donated to her Cook County State's Attorney run in 2016. Authorities say an intoxicated woman driving the wrong way on a San Francisco highway crashed into a cab carrying 2 passengers, killing everyone. California Highway Patrol says among the dead are 62-year-old InvestNet CEO Judson Bergman from Barrington and 57-year-old Mary Miller Bergman. Judson Bergman was thrown from that taxi. And the Library of Congress's cafeteria is getting in on the impeachment fun, they say, now serving punny impeachment-themed dessert. As President Trump faces an impeachment inquiry into the House led by Democrats, the subject matter has been punned into peach mint desserts and drinks throughout Washington, D.C. The company is called IL Creations, and they actually cater all federal cafeterias. In fact, they have introduced a peach mint crumb cake to serve at all their federal lunchrooms. Blackhawks open the season today against the Flyers in Prague. That's a 1 p.m. puck drop for us here in Chicago this afternoon. Tomorrow, Illinois tackles Minnesota in Big Ten football. In the MAC, here on AM 560, NIU welcomes Ball State with a 2:30 kick in DeKalb. Playoff baseball, National League Division Series, Dodgers over the Nationals 6-0. Cardinals beat the Braves 7-6. The news service of Panera Bread at Panera. Get breakfast that's fast, not fast food. Try a new Chipotle chicken scrambled egg and avocado breakfast wrap and pair it with a premium, freshly ground, freshly brewed coffee, all ready to go with the push of a button. Panera, food as it should be. 6:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Tickets for Freedom Summit 2019 sold out in record time in response to the high demand. We've opened up an overflow room for attendees to watch the event on Saturday, November 2nd at the Westin Chicago Northwest. Overflow tickets are on sale now, but are selling fast. Get yours at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Clear Financial Strategies, Tom Mirabali, independent health insurance agent with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Monarch Technical, and by Charles Equipment Energy Systems.
You've heard about the great need for workers in the skilled trades. There are many well-paying opportunities today for young people just out of high school and even college. One of those opportunities is with Woodland Windows and Doors, a major operation with a 50-year history providing customers with quality windows and doors from the initial sale to service and installation. Woodland is experiencing growth in their business and are eager to hire both individuals with experience in window and door installation and those willing to learn the trade and work together with their skilled craftsmen. The Woodland tradition is hard work, integrity, and respect for others while providing their valued customers with the service they expect and deserve. They offer competitive wages based on experience, along with paid vacation, paid holidays, 401k, several health insurance plans to choose from, and a company truck. Woodland Windows and Doors has full-time work available now. If you're on the path to Division of the Trades, skilled in carpentry, or willing to learn, call 630-869-1450 or visit woodlandwindows.com.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
This is not rehearsed. I'm just some person that listened to the commercial and said, you know what? Fruits and vegetables, how can I go wrong? At one point, I was going to stop taking it. And then I got a message saying that even if you stop taking it, you still have your coat for 2 months. And that's when I really realized you people aren't looking for money. You really care about the human being and helping people. So To me, that is the most important thing.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we'll take off an additional $25 on your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
6:38 in the AM 560 traffic center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
8094 westbound. The exit to Grant is closed due to a major wreck. Grant is closed in the area. Northbound Tri-State, we're now seeing delays Archer to the Mylog Bridge. From the Hinsdale Oasis to Ogden, and from the Reagan Tollwood past the Eisenhower. Cadence is 21 minutes like Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 32 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 12 from Montrose, 9 on the express lanes. Westbound 197 going into O'Hare. On Eisenhower, 42 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson now 49 minutes, 355 Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan, 25 minutes from 95th to downtown. I-57, 18 minutes, side to the Verge. Bishop 421. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. A cool day ahead, clouds and sun, high 58. Currently 46. Next news at 7, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
This guy is the most biased reporter, NBC. I think CNN has more credibility than NBC News.
On AM 560.
Did you hear what I said? I said you have more credibility than this guy. And that's not saying much.
The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. More on the Chicago exodus. Chicago Tribune providing some anecdotes. So this is from their news section, their leftist news section, not the editorial board, which is often leftist too. But miss the food, not the taxes. Chicagoans explain why they left for neighboring states. They soft pedal what's going on a little bit. Recent Tribune investigation found the top motivation for leaving the land of Lincoln was a new job or job transfer. But those who pack up in search of more affordable housing and cheaper property taxes are also a motivated bunch. Do you understand that if you did a Venn diagram of the two groups, it's going to be close to a perfect circle? Do you understand? You're leaving the land of Lincoln for a new job or job transfer. Number one, businesses leaving, jobs leaving with them. Number two, a business is not expanding here, so jobs not available here, so people looking elsewhere as they move up their particular career ladder. Number three, get a job somewhere else before I leave.
Right.
Right, so I'm not just jumping without a parachute. Right. So you can't say, you have to get into the specifics, of course, but to suggest, as the Tribune's reporting does, that those are two distinct categories is not accurate. Not accurate. As we've heard from political people, real estate professionals. There was an editorial about a gentleman in Glenview who's been in housing for 30 years, talking about what the housing market's like here. Another real estate professional that was interviewed for this piece in the Tribune, Tom Keefe, owns Keefe Real Estate in Lake Geneva. Noticed an influx of residents moving to Wisconsin for a number of reasons, but the lower tax burden seems to trump them all. And the interesting thing about this, as we reported, I think yesterday, Kiplinger financial newsletter ranking, the least tax-friendly states. Illinois is number 1 in the country, as you would expect, or you should know by now. Wisconsin's number 4, not a low-tax state.
Right, no.
So part of this suggestion is that, some substantial tax relief in an area that allows people, for example, to regain their home equity that's been destroyed by confiscatory property taxes. would keep a lot of people here because of the other amenities Chicago has, the lakefront, the skyline, the restaurant scene, the cultural offerings. But he can't even manage to do that, right? Because it's kleptocracy or bust. Kleptocracy at all costs, including your liquidation. That's the attitude of the political class. For the same size house in Illinois, says Mr. Keefe, taxes are triple and quadruple what they are in Wisconsin. And a lot of people think the services here are just as good, if not better, particularly when it comes to schooling. And those people are correct. Again, Wisconsin, fully funded public sector pensions, fully funded, and lower taxes in Illinois. In addition to that, a state that is one of the better states when it comes to providing services for families with a person with developmental disabilities, where Illinois is the worst. So they have lower taxes, they provide better services, and they fully fund their pensions. Golly, I guess it can be done. It's happening right to the north of us. And it's attracting people who are willing to pay taxes, willing to pay income taxes, willing to pay sales taxes. But you can't squeeze me in every direction. You can't do the full-on liquidation where I'm working harder to run in place, actually to lose ground, particularly when it comes to, as I say ad nauseum, the largest investment most people make in their home, in their lives, which is their home. Keefe, this gentleman owns Keefe Real Estate in Lake Geneva. His agents have noted a gradual increase in Illinois residents moving to Wisconsin over the past 5 years, with interest really kicking up in the last 12 months.
Dan, maybe they're listening to the show.
They should be. Jason and Leslie Groth recently moved from Chicago's southwest suburbs to Lake Geneva, where they lived for a few years, more than a decade ago. The couple bought a condo in the resort town 5 years ago, primarily for weekends and vacations, with the intention of retiring there, and they expedited that retirement sooner than expected. We love the natural beauty of Wisconsin, definitely appreciate the lower taxes, said Leslie Groth. She said Wisconsin will offer much better schools and support services for their 7-year-old son with special needs. Thank you very much for making my point for me. And the older daughters will have an abundance of options for activities and outdoor athletics. We'll miss our friends and neighbors the most. Illinois will always be special to us, as we both grew up in Illinois, but we're right across the border. Yeah. And the same thing, of course, is happening in communities that are near border states all around us. Southern Illinois, it's Missouri. Quad Cities, it's Iowa. And obviously here in Chicago and south into some of the collar counties, it's Northwest Indiana. It's fact.
I was looking at homes in Hammond.
Yeah.
Want to help me move?
They'll be, I mean, yeah. And,
I mean, seriously, it's unbelievable.
I mean, and all you have to do to understand that this is real, despite what the politicians say, and I know, I get it. There's plenty of blame to go around. It's not as bad as you think, and we're working on it. Got it. Meanwhile, I'm leaving. You can keep reciting that to yourself and to the throngs of adoring champagne socialists and transfer payment beneficiaries that you're you're buffaloing. But I'm leaving. And all you have to do is look at, and you'll find this out if you do, when we relocate Chicago's Morning Answer to Hammond. You'll find
maybe Munster. I don't know.
U-Haul rental rates.
Oh, right.
U-Haul from say, Chicago to Dallas is 5 times what it is from Dallas to Chicago.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? That's a function of demand for those of you, your friends, because the people listening to this show can do Econ 101, but for your friends who can't. Oh, but don't worry, they are working on it. The Illinois Public Pension Fund Association, working on it. 656 local police and fire pension funds. The Illinois Public Pension Fund Association is trying to address the problems with many of those pension funds. There's a bill in Springfield to combine many police and fire pension programs to save costs. They recently held a gathering at the Grand Geneva Resort in Wisconsin. Oh, it's nice.
Oh, nice.
Give
That's
Wisconsin some business.
Yeah.
Then
Could have spent that money over here.
Any resorts in Illinois? I mean, that's number one.
That's beautiful there. I love that place.
3,000 people attended the conference.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, isn't that
That's
great?
a lot of money we
Yeah.
gave them.
Yeah.
At least 6 figures.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that cost taxpayers $8 million.
Oof. And we didn't even keep the money in our own state.
Right.
Wow.
So I mean, it's just sort of a remarkable thing. We're going up to have this conference to talk about how we control costs. We're going to do it in Wisconsin, and we're going to charge taxpayers $8 million. Nothing to see here. Our top men and women are on this problem.
Oh my God.
Lest you worry. Top men and women. Oh, boy. Tom and Oswego.
Good morning, Danny and Amy. I wanted to make a comment, too. That I'm a self-employed person, so I'm really getting stuck because I'm literally stuck here. I can't up and move my business. It's such a business that, it has to be here. I built it over 30 years, and I can't just up and move. I'm almost 60 years old, and when we retire, we may sell our home. We're just not sure what we're going to do. We've lived in our home for 28 years, man, and probably averaged about, I'd say $9,000 a year in taxes. Do the math. $9,000 over 27 years, how much I've paid in. Probably just a little less than what my home is worth right now.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
And our subdivision, a very nice subdivision, the home across the street, they started selling at $325. They moved to Arizona before they sold the house, and now it's down to $285. So we're stuck with the people that are abandoning the state and leaving their homes and selling it as cheap as possible just to get out of here.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, I would recommend this. I'm not a real estate professional, but
you hang out with one.
Yeah, I hang out with too many, actually. But here's the thing. You cannot buy property here. You cannot buy property here. It is throwing money away until the structure of taxation and government changes. It is throwing money away. Right. So to the extent that you're stuck here, and this is, by the way, I'm going to take my own advice in the not too distant future. If you want to stay, fine. Or you have to stay, fine. Understand, it's difficult. But limit your exposure. Just get out from underneath the hammering you're going to take of a 5 and 6 figure, and in some cases in the upper reaches, 7-figure nature by just renting. Oh, yeah, it's throwing away money and I'm not building equity. You're not building equity here by buying something. You can't build equity. It's not structurally possible to build equity. So limit your exposure so that at some point when you can just pull up stakes and leave, it makes it that much easier to do so.
Yeah, years ago I thought that owning the home, I didn't look at it as an investment. You built the house to raise a family. Sure, if it increased, that'd be great. And I always thought people, boy, you're renting, you're just throwing money away. Now I've heard stories of people walking away from their homes because they owe money. They don't care. They'll just walk away, get the keys to the mortgage lender, and then go rent.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's a great point, Tom.
If you own a building and rent units, you're still making some money, but not enough.
Well, so what? The equity in the rental property you own is being decimated too. And by the way, the reckoning is coming for Chicago, where the city center has skated on lower than suburban level property tax rates. I don't know if you've been listening to Lori Lightfoot's pronouncements and what's emanating from the Progressive Caucus and the City Council, which is just about 50% at least of that august body. It's coming. So there is no play. There is no real estate play here for the little guy. Maybe if you want to develop, one Bennett Place or some big tower, perhaps that could also be, the story of putting all kinds of companies into bankruptcy, as many big real estate gambits do when they are in, say, the 200th ranked metropolitan area when it comes to housing prices projected in 2019, according to Realtor.com. And this is in good economic times. Wait till there's a downturn and wait till you have the housing bubble here burst. All these buildings that were supposed to go up in the city to be luxury condos that are luxury condo rentals now. What does that tell you? And the other thing that Tom from Oswego just said, this is important, and we're going to have data on this next week. That's already happening. People going galt with respect to their property taxes. In the south suburbs, it's more pronounced than elsewhere because your homes have been destroyed. The value of your homes have been destroyed down to basically being worth nothing. You have a substantial percentage of people in Cook County not paying their property taxes. What are you going to do? Take my home? Take it. Yeah. Take it. The bank doesn't want it. And Tom Dart won't let anybody foreclose on your home anyway. I'm not paying my property taxes. This is the I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore moment.
I've thought about doing that.
No, just don't pay my property taxes. What can you do to me? I'm insulated from having to pay my property taxes because you've destroyed the value of my home. And I got Tom Dart, who's too busy rescuing puppies to worry about flacking for the banks. So why not? Perhaps that's where the revolt will come. I don't know. Perhaps that's where people will, at least metaphorically, don the yellow vest and say, I'm done with it. I'm not going to be fleeced anymore. I can't afford it. Come and get me.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
I think I have to go see Network again, too, while I go see Tombstone again. Phil in Deerfield.
Good morning, guys. One of the things, Dan, you're right. You're spot on. First of all, it's good for my business that this is happening because I'm on that foreclosure side. But trying to find work in another state, that's not as easy as I think many people think. And then the car insurance. I spent some time in Nevada. That car insurance bill, that's a killer. So it's 3 times as much as it is here. Florida is the same way. So some of those costs are a wash. So, and really, do you want to live in Wisconsin? Their winter versus our winter?
Well,
I hear you. You're right on. There are a lot of other factors to consider.
How much different is the winter in Pleasant Prairie versus Antioch? I don't think it's that much different. You know, I mean, thanks for the call, Phil. I mean, the costs don't wash out. I know that's and I understand the place you're coming from, Phil, and I'm not suggesting moving is an easy thing, particularly if you've been here for a long time or lifelong, you have kids here, you have a job here. I'm not suggesting any of it's easy. I'm suggesting it's difficult, actually, which is why the fact so many are is such an indictment. But the costs don't wash, because when you look at the analyses of total tax bill, Illinois, number 1 with a bullet, and the surrounding states significantly less. In addition to that, total tax burden, which is how you have to look at it, because you have to pay the total tax burden wherever you live. You can't just pick and choose, but we have a low here and we have a little bit higher there. No. Total tax burden, Illinois, number 1. And that doesn't contemplate, I go back again, the liquidation of your home when you pay on a $250,000 house a $25,000 to $50,000 lump sum exit tax to get out from underneath it. Those are big numbers, and we've talked about them at great length on this show. Hundreds of examples we've provided on this show. Every price point. Hammering. Sean in Elmwood Park.
There's another thing about the insurance I love, the car insurance, that they glaze over. In these states, I'm in Florida right now, you have a license that you get points on your license for your driving record. So if you're a terrible driver, you
pay more.
Say Amy would, who has never exceeded 40 miles an hour.
So
even that
stat
is cooked. Yeah. But here's the thing that I find sad, and I mean this, Prof. You listen to that guy, 28 years. He knows how bad it is, but he's not even. He would have been far better renting for all 28. He would have limited his cost. He's just talking about property taxes. What about the actual cost of the home? The poor guy got crushed. And the businesses that you start, you can't sell them in Illinois. They're worth nothing because no one is coming in to buy a bad bankrupt state tax problem. There aren't people lining up. But the cherry on this sundae that is infuriating. What do you mean you spent $8 million on a weekend party? What did you solve? Hey, Fetzos, what did you solve? that you were there 8 million. What's the conclusion of the meeting? It is a big fracking joke, and they're laughing at us. And I find that infuriating. So when I go to these showings, and I might take 3 or 4 people, the saddest part, Dan, is when you're in the showing and it's not done, and the workers are there and they're painting and the windows and the electric, and somebody says, "Yeah, I got to get out of Illinois," and almost every one of them, to the workers who are carrying the buckets and the guy trying to figure out how to sell the property, we're all from Chicago. And these idiots can't recognize it, and you have the audacity to throw a party for your fat derrieres. That's the part that's sickening.
Yeah.
Sickening.
Thanks for the call, Sean. I'll tell you, people being hurt, like Tom from Oswego, did everything right, played by the rules. My dad in Wheaton, everything right, played by the rules, and getting fleeced. And they're laughing at you. If that doesn't motivate you, then I don't know what does. That's sick. These are sick, disgusting people that we have allowed to lord over the state, Republicans and Democrats.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results vary. Exclusions apply.
Contacts and glasses are such a hassle. I'd love to finally get LASIK, but
I'm going to stop you right there. If you want LASIK, then the LASIK Vision Institute has officially taken away everything standing in your way.
Isn't LASIK expensive?
Not at the LASIK Vision Institute. We're offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. See for free if LASIK is right for you by texting TOP to 350350.
But I'm really busy.
A text only takes seconds. The LASIK procedure typically only takes 15 minutes, and most patients can get back to work the following day. The LASIK Vision Institute uses the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision. Dr. Greenberg has performed 75,000 LASIK surgeries and is one of the most experienced LASIK surgeons in Chicago. And we're offering 20% off our already low-cost services.
What's that text again?
Text TOP to 350350. That's TOP to 350350 to schedule your free consultation today.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560. The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Democrats will try to get more answers today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, questioning someone else behind closed doors in their impeachment inquiry probing the Trump-Ukraine call. Michael Atkinson, the intelligence community's inspector general. The day after the ex-special envoy to Ukraine spent 9 hours at the Capitol, and Kurt Volker handed over texts. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, it was a trove of messages between U.S. diplomats, group discussions before and after President Trump's phone call with the leader of Ukraine. In them, they discussed Ukraine investigating the 2016 election and the oil company Joe Biden's son worked with. Diplomat Bill Taylor writes, "I think it's crazy to withhold security assistance to help with a political campaign." Ambassador Gordon Sondland replies, "The president's been crystal clear. No quid pro quos of any kind. Sondland then suggests they start talking on the phone rather than sending text messages. Dave?
Now, President Trump about 3 minutes ago tweeted that the Ukrainian president has strongly stated there was no pressure put on him. Case closed. Now today, House Democrats want documents handed over in their investigation, but the White House plans to send House Speaker Nancy Pelosi a letter demanding she hold a formal vote on the impeachment inquiry first.
Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy already sent a letter to Pelosi demanding a vote, writing, "This complete lack of a balanced investigative process underscores that there is no legitimate search for truth here." Pelosi wrote back rejecting that, saying there's no constitutional requirement or House precedent for such a vote.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. Republicans say there is precedent. That's how the Nixon and Clinton inquiries were handled. Joe Biden raised less money for his presidential campaign in the third quarter, $15 million, down from $22 the quarter before.
Biden now places squarely behind other leading 2020 contenders, Bernie Sanders, who brought in $25.3 million, and Pete Buttigieg, who brought in $19.1 million.
Fox's Jillian Turner. In Hong Kong, a new attempt to end all the pro-democracy demonstration is a ban on face masks that protesters wear. America's listening to Fox News. Clouds and sunshine expected throughout the early morning as we begin to warm up just a bit. 46 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. I'm Mike Scott. More details are emerging about the FBI raid last week in McCook. Newly released documents show the raid at Village Hall was targeting Village President and Cook County Commissioner Jeff Tobolsky's computer hard drives and items linked to the village's exposition. Center. Chicago judge will decide later today whether to let a former U.S. attorney stay on as special prosecutor examining the dismissal of charges against actor Jesse Smollett. The hearing comes after Dan Webb revealed he co-hosted a fundraiser for Kim Foxx and donated $1,000 to her successful 2016 run for Cook County State's attorney. 7 are hospitalized after a Pink Line train crashed into a vehicle in Cicero. The vehicle was northbound on 47th Avenue last night when the driver tried to go around railroad crossing gates that were down. Authorities say an intoxicated woman driving the wrong way on a San Francisco highway crashed into a cab carrying 2 passengers, killing everyone in that cab. California Highway Patrol says among the dead are 62-year-old InvestNet CEO Judson Bergman from Barrington and 57-year-old Mary Miller Bergman. Bergman was thrown from the taxi. A casino operator has its eyes on a suburban Chicago. Daily Southtown reporting that Wind Creek Hospitality will seek a state license to open a casino in East Hazelcrest and Homewood. The 2 suburbs are expected to vote on that project next week. Blackhawks open the season today against the Philadelphia Flyers in Prague. That is a 1 p.m. puck drop this afternoon. There's news for Alex DeBrincat. The forward gets a new 3-year contract extension, averaging about $6.4 million a year. The news service of Discover. Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year automatically. No limit on how much they'll match. Millions of people a year are getting their cash back matched. Discover Cashback Match. What are you waiting for? Learn more at discover.com/cashbackmatch. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I've been telling listeners for years about all the benefits of sending your sons to Northridge Prep. Now, I'm thrilled to tell you about their sister school, Willows Academy. Willows is an all-girls college preparatory school for girls grades 6 through 12 that has been educating female leaders for 45 years. What do you want for your daughter during her crucial development years? A supportive environment, positive female role models, solid, lasting friendships. Willows Academy provides all of these, plus a challenging academic curriculum that's structured to help her succeed. Willows is a place where young women can safely spread their wings and learn to soar. Find out more about why Willows Academy is one of the top all-girls high schools in Illinois at an open house on Sunday, November 3rd. Discover the Willows award-winning arts and athletics. Learn about their top-notch academics that resulted in last year's graduating class being offered $6 million in college scholarships. To register for Willows Academy's November 3rd open house, visit their website, willowsacademy.org. That's willowsacademy.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey everyone, Ken here. For 2 years now, you've heard Carrie and I use metaphors to test to see if you think your home or your business could use a revenue shot in the backside. Today, because of our new website, I can be a little bit more direct. Income Store has 2 doors. If you have more time than money, you're going to live under door number 1. You're going to see over 400 digital assets, 5 to 20 minutes apiece, that'll teach you how to manage numbers and lead people, or show you 6 growth tips you've never heard of. All of this so you can start growing your home or your business revenue literally immediately. If you have more money than time, door number 2 is going to be for you. You can view some of our managed services, look for more done-for-you packages. 34% of Americans in 2018 visited one of our managed services. Forbes 3 years in a row quoted, "Income Store is an expert at generating home or business revenue." If you'd love to explore how to check out adding revenue to your home or business, just go to IncomeStore.com. That's incomestore.com.
At Panera, get breakfast that's fast, not fast food. Try a new Chipotle chicken scrambled egg and avocado breakfast wrap and pair it with a premium freshly ground, freshly brewed coffee. All ready to go with the push of a button. Panera, food as it should be.
7:07 AM 560 Traffic Center time. Jim Telemonte.
Right now, we're seeing scattered delays on the northbound tri-state between Archer and 47th and between the Reagan Tollway at Lawrence. Eastbound Reagan Tollway traffic's tight from the tri-state to Roosevelt. And eastbound 390 is a bit heavy, rolling to 290. 8094 westbound, you'll slow down. King Drive to Grant Street, where the exit is closed after a major wreck. Eden's 26 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose. Kennedy, 37 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Heavier in the Express. Eisenhower, 45 minutes, 390 to the Burn Circle. Stevenson, 57 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Orion, looking at 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes, I-80 to the Merge. Bishop, 429. That's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. In our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today, partly sunny. It'll be cool. The high today, 58. It'll be partly cloudy tonight, low 47. Cloudy tomorrow. A bit of rain for the late afternoon, high 63. Partly sunny and breezy on Sunday, high 64. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
46 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Let's play a little game. And not like in...
I see Dan. I see Mike.
No, and I don't mean...
Romper room?
No, I don't mean like in romper room. I also don't mean like in jigsaw lingo either. I don't mean anything dastardly. Little game. Here's an exchange at a town hall hosted by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, end of the world spice. See if you can pick out which is the attendee, the supporter, and which is the congresswoman. See if you can. It's not easy.
Going to be here for much long because of the climate crisis. We only have a few months left. I love that you support the Green Deal, but it's not getting rid of fossil fuel. It's not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying, we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies. We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2. All of you, you're a pollutant. Too much CO2. We have to start now, please. You are so great. I'm so happy that you're really supporting the Green Deal, but it's not enough. Even if we would bomb Russia, we still have too many people, too much pollution. So we have to get rid of the babies. That's a big problem. Just stopping having babies is not enough. We need to eat the babies, and this is very serious. Please give a response.
Thank you. No, thank you. We'll go ahead. Okay.
Somebody pass the A1.
No, we'll go ahead.
I like the basket.
It's so no. Yeah, no. Thank you. So I think So one of the things that's very important to us is that we need to treat the climate crisis with the urgency that it does present. Luckily, we have more than a few months. We do need to hit net zero in several years. But I think we all need to understand that there are a lot of solutions that we have and that we can pursue, and that if we act in a positive way, there's space for hope. We are never beyond hope.
I mean, first of all, the lady had on a T-shirt that said, "Save the planet, eat the children."
You didn't know. You didn't say which was which.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Was the first voice the congresswoman or the second voice?
First voice. No, I'm kidding. The second voice. But I mean, The fact that AOC didn't argue against anything this woman said, except to insist that we only have a few months left. I mean, that was so irresponsible. This lady clearly has some mental illness issues going on.
And so does the lady that asked the question. Yeah, I take your point. This is the AOC generation.
Grow up, AOC, and say, no, we're never going to have to eat children. That is ridiculous. And if I said anything in the past that led you to believe that, then I apologize. But we're not eating children. We're not eating babies. And the planet is not going to self-implode in a few months.
Well, I mean, you can't, no red meat, no colonial cauliflower, and...
There's fly shaming right now. You can't, airlines is down 7% because of people fly shaming like Greta Thunberg. And yet she took a plane here the second time she came here.
But that's the sort of heady stuff that you're getting on the left with respect to climate science. The science tells us, and by the way, the debate's over. This is just what the science tells us. The science tells us, as op-ed in news, I think it was Newsweek that we discussed, and that lady mentioned that we got to start removing the taboo of cannibalism, because it's not enough to just not have babies. We have to eat the babies. But please, don't believe that this is some sort of death cult on the left.
Oh, no, not at all, no.
Don't believe that this is not about science. It's about hatred of humanity, and it's about a bunch of people that aspire to totalitarian positions where they effectively get to decide who lives and who dies. I know that's crazy talk, but what you just heard at that town hall, including the response from AOC, that's not crazy talk. So you sort of can't have it both ways. Either you have to take into account the ridiculous things that are coming from a whole group of members of Congress and other politicians and clergy. You have to take that and bump that up against what we know to be true, or you have to take that on faith as they're taking it, join that cult, and you're on board for wherever that goes into the wilderness, because it brings together all kinds of cranks, doesn't it? The mandatory abortion types like Dan Savage, the zero population growth anti-scientists like Paul Ehrlich back in the day, and many of his acolytes today, no matter how many times his pronouncements were debunked by the reality on the ground. Same thing with the end of the world predictions, what we've talked about in the context of Greta Thunberg's visit to the UN last week. For the last 41, as the Competitive Enterprise Institute put together. Doom and gloom predictions. It's not to be anti-science. In point of fact, it's to be the opposite. They are cultists. We talk to scientists like Bjorn Lomborg, Patrick Moore. How about the 500 scientists who issued a missive, both in writing and video form, to the UN, responding to Greta Thunberg and the histrionics of AOC and her supporters, as well as her colleagues? Did you hear from them at all? 500 scientists. This is coming from Canada, by the way. That's where Friends of Science is located. So 500 scientists from around the world, but the debate's supposed to be over. Well, they don't think so.
Your Excellencies, there is no climate emergency. A global network of more than 500 knowledgeable and experienced scientists and professionals in climate and related fields have the honor to address Your Excellencies in the attached European Climate Declaration, for which the signatories to this letter are the national ambassadors. The general circulation models of climate on which international policy is at present founded are unfit for their purpose. Therefore, it is cruel as well as imprudent to advocate the squandering of trillions on the basis of results from such immature models. Current climate policies pointlessly, grievously undermine the economic system, putting the lives at risk in countries denied access to affordable, continuous electrical power. We urge you to follow a climate policy based on sound science, realistic economics, and genuine concern for those harmed by costly but unnecessary attempts at mitigation.
So who do you find more compelling, that spokesperson for Friends of Science, representing 500 scientists, or those two cranks at that town hall in the Bronx, talking about the end of the world and what we should do about the data that we understand to be true? Not to mention just sort of the
Do you think they even brought up any data?
basic climate science, about carbon dioxide, for example, plant food, basic biology, and ecology. What do you think? Who sounds more reasonable? And by the way, who's got the manifesto, the weight of the evidence behind them? Because AOC is 15 degrees from that woman chanting, "Eat the babies." 15 degrees.
She even texted or tweeted after the event, "Hey, everyone, we had a fabulous town hall tonight, and I'll be highlighting some moments from it. At one point, I was concerned there was a woman in crisis and want to ensure we treat the situation compassionately. Let's not mock or make a spectacle, and let's work on Medicare for all!" Exclamation point.
No, I'm not mocking her. I'm taking her seriously. Both of the cranks.
Yeah.
Both of the women in crisis at that town hall. More science,
Scary
by the
stuff.
way.
Yes.
The
Do I have to eat Peyton and Eli?
Well,
Because I'm not sharing.
boy.
You're going to have to eat your hypothetical children.
New York
today.
Times reporting, in a remarkable turnabout, an international collaboration of researchers have produced new analysis on the dangers of eating red meat.
Yeah.
Long urged Americans to limit consumption of red meat and processed meats because of concern the foods are linked to heart disease, cancer, and other ills. And of course, one of the great threats to Western civilization, according to AOC and her ilk, is cow flatulence. That's not backed by science. The dietary guidelines that have been accepted as received wisdom, not backed by science. If there are health benefits from eating less beef or pork, they are small, concluded the researchers. Indeed, the advantages are so faint that they can be discerned only when looking at large populations and are not sufficient to tell individuals to change their meat-eating habits. Take a couple calls. Amish texter in Huntley, the rare call from the Amish texter on his...
Must be big.
We've got a special line here. We've got the other tin can that goes to hit the long string out to Huntley to his tin can.
Yes. Good morning. How you doing? Hey, boy, I'll tell you, the brilliance that comes from the Democrats in the Congress. But way the Wayback Machine. When I was a young geology student in college, and I worked concert security at NIU, and John Waite from the great band The Babies played, and I didn't know how prescient he was back then, but they had a song out that was called "Isn't It Time?" So I think that's got to be our theme song about eating the babies. Isn't It Time by The Babies?
I thought you were going to. Thanks for the call, Amish. When you mentioned John Waite, I thought you were going to go bad English, but you went babies. Interesting. John, the other resident of Huntley.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
We're missing the old adage here. If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. So that's really what we're talking about.
It's now literal. Yeah, now literally you are. That's great. Thanks,
That's
John. Very good. Tom in Barrington.
Tom.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
No.
First of all, I'm so glad the Amish texter called. Now I know who the guy is I threw up going into the concert at NIU, and I apologize for that. But secondly, for all of these cranks, do us a favor. Just step out in front of a truck in a no-idle zone and save us some CO2 and carbon monoxide. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks for the call, Tom.
Wow.
And then that's a meal.
There you go. It's new meaning for street pizza. Huh?
Crack pottery is on the menu. Ed in St. Charles.
Yeah, I'd like to report a murder. Liberal reality has murdered satire. It's indistinguishable now. I assumed that was satire, but you guys are talking like it isn't. She was serious.
That's not satire. That is absolutely not satire. Thanks for the call, Ed. Not a plant. No. That's real. I don't think people, I mean, I say this all the time because people live their lives and so forth. And I don't think you understand the depths of the hysterics, the anti-intellectualism of the left, of the animated participatory leftists that attend things like an AOC town hall meeting. I don't think people have an appreciation for it.
She's really bad at her job. She just let that fly over the plate and didn't insert herself and didn't set anybody straight.
I mean,
people are going to hear that and seriously think, oh my God, are they going to eat us now?
It takes something like that, I think, to give you some perspective. It takes something like seeing Antifa take over the streets of Portland and beat up a journalist, almost kill him, I think, for people to fully appreciate it.
And Antifa also didn't let an old lady in a walker cross the street.
But again, we're talking about the people that run interference for them and are about 15 degrees off from them. They find those people like that woman and Antifa to be their useful idiots. They're fellow travelers. Ralph and Rantoul.
Yeah. Speaking of useful idiots, that's precisely, I mean, I was thinking of Upton Sinclair, and the socialists have been pushing this line of baloney for a long time, for 100 years, Upton Sinclair, and a lot of his ideas. He was an avowed socialist. He wrote socialist themes through most of his 100 novels. And, you get some knucklehead, that woman. We must eat the baby. She sounds like the Soylent Green wing of Chad Goes Deep, standing up at the council. You think at any moment she's maybe going to break character. But then you realize, no, there are people that are either that stupid, that useful, that they're deluded, right? I mean, they have no idea that they sound so foolish, right? It's like AOC and the Soylent Green feed chain, the food chain on her side of the aisle. The problem is that, talking about science, most people, you can't talk science with anybody anymore because the education system has been so dumbed down. Kids getting out of high school these days, they barely know how to write, let alone learn any of the kind of the basic stuff that they used to learn 50, 60 years ago.
Like the scientific method. Yeah.
It's like thinking, okay? Yeah. Like thinking. And of course, it's ridiculous. I mean, actually, don't eat the babies. Eat big fat people because they're eating more than their fair share of the resources.
Right,
if you're going to start, you start with the big people, the mouth breathers. Hey, man, get off of my part of the oxygen, all right? You are just consuming too many natural resources. This is the Pol Pot version of the Democrat Party. If we actually followed their idiotic thoughts and principles, this place would end up like frickin' Cambodia. These people are morons.
Thanks for the call, Ralph. Look, I mean, that's this is where sentimental barbarism ultimately leads. I mean, that's an absurd example, but it is not inconsistent with sentimental barbarism. Her emotion is her morality, and she cares more than you, so she takes it to that next extreme. But, I mean, she is no different philosophically. The Eat the Babies woman. Philosophically, she is no different than AOC. They are both, emotion is the source of my morality. They are both sentimental barbarians. It's just a matter of degree. And it's all on the continuum of who emotes more, who is more hysterical, because that is who has the moral high ground. And the problem the left has seen with humanity for time immemorial, including all of the despots of the 20th century, the problem with humanity, the humans. Tom in Deer Park.
Oh, good morning. Yesterday was clarifying for me. The day starts out, the President of the United States is looking to a foreign communist adversary to go after political dirt on his political opponent. Then the day goes on, we get our work done, and then the night comes, and this woman at AOC's town hall wants to eat the baby. So again, to put it together, I think that the 243-year, experiment of the United States, it's been a good run. I enjoyed myself, but I think we'll take her point and let's just eat the babies and get this over with.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Want your home's furnace to stay safe and reliable? And want to prevent any potential problems before they happen? At your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, we recommend an annual furnace inspection and tune-up. Right now, get big savings on a furnace tune-up. Call 855-1-HOUR. Because not taking care of your furnace, that's just cold.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Hey, our listeners helped build MyPillow into the amazing company it is today. And now Mike Lindell, the inventor and CEO of MyPillow, wants to give back to the listeners. You can get deep discounts on all MyPillow products by going to MyPillow.com and clicking on the new radio listener specials box. I love MyPillow. It conforms to my neck and back. I really can't sleep with any other pillow ever. I'm not addicted to it. And the Giza cotton sheets are amazing. They come in different colors and, of course, king, queen, full, twin size. Here's what you do. Go to MyPillow.com, type Amy in the promo code, and you'll get 30% off those Giza cotton sheets, a MyPillow for $29.99, and a whole body pillow, regularly $89.99, only $29.99 at MyPillow.com. But you have to put in the promo code Amy.
We're back on TV and bigger than ever.
Folks just love our incredible deals.
Just yesterday, I got attacked by paparazzi.
Really?
But I think the groupies are the worst.
Wait, groupies?
I know, right. All the Highland Park groupies we have now.
I think you're sniffing too much tiger air.
I think you're right.
Right now, lease a 2019 Fusion SE 4-door with AC and Ford Sync for just $325 a month and 0 down. Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore.
We're Al and Marty. Deal with us.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and just because summer is over doesn't mean it's too late to paint your home. Fall is a great time to check painting off your to-do list. By now, I think I've had my entire home painted by CertaPro painters. They really are the best. You know, CertaPro painters make painting this fall easy and quick. They have more availability, which means you can have your home professionally painted much faster. Cooler weather is arriving, so it is time to think about protecting your home from the elements once again. Have CertaPro painters paint the exterior of your home as well. And with kids going back to school and the family moving back indoors, get excited about cozy nights with a new look from CertaPro painters. Don't put it off. It's time to hire CertaPro painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Or call 800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
I'm downloading this song.
John Wade.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the
We're
name
gonna
of the
have
song?
to. Justin and Amish Tex are gonna have to collaborate on a parody.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to former NYU professor Michael Rechtenwald about big tech in the 2020 election. He's got a new book that is on the topic in part. That's at 7:37.
And job numbers are out. We'll get to that later. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Partly sunny and 46 degrees. Thousands of defiant, masked protesters streaming into Hong Kong streets today after the city's embattled leader, Carrie Lam, invoked rarely used emergency powers to try and ban masks at rallies in a hardening of the government's stance against anti-government demonstrators. Bernie Sanders' campaign says the Vermont senator will be on stage for the fourth Democrat presidential debate less than 2 weeks from now after having a major heart procedure. President Trump says there's no reason he cannot ask other countries to investigate Democrat presidential frontrunner Joe Biden and his son, Hunter. China, though, cooled to the president's call for Beijing to investigate Biden and his son. Chinese officials saying they have little interest in getting involved in what they term a U.S. political controversy. People familiar with the negotiations in the General Motors strike say representatives of GM and the UAW are narrowing gaps between positions. Energy Secretary Rick Perry is resigning. Former Texas governor planning to step down next month. He'll be temporarily replaced. More details are emerging about the FBI raid last week in McCook, targeting village president and Cook County Commissioner Jeff Tobolsky's computer hard drives and items linked to the village's expo center called the Max. Feds were seeking evidence of a number of federal crimes. Authorities say an intoxicated woman driving the wrong way on a San Francisco highway crashed into a cab carrying 2 passengers and killing everyone. California Highway Patrol says among the dead are 62-year-old InvestNet CEO Judson Bergman of Barrington and 57-year-old Mary Miller Bergman. Authorities have identified the man who shot and killed himself after shooting his stepdaughter outside Elmhurst Hospital this week. Police say Robert Scheck shot Imelda Scheck in the face Wednesday night. His stepdaughter remains hospitalized in critical condition. The Blackhawks open the NHL regular season today against Philadelphia in Prague, a 1 p.m. puck drop for the afternoon. Bears and Raiders are in London, getting ready for their face-off on Sunday. Playoff baseball, Dodgers over the Nationals 6-0. Cardinals a comeback win over the Braves. The American League gets going this afternoon. Rays and Astros, Yankees and Twins. The news is a service of Panera Bread. At Panera, get breakfast that's fast, not fast food. Try a new Chipotle chicken, scrambled egg, and avocado breakfast wrap. And pair it with a premium, freshly ground, freshly brewed coffee, all ready to go with the push of a button. Panera, food as it should be. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity sees Trump helping minorities.
More than 80% of the new jobs created under Donald Trump have gone to, if you can believe it, minorities. Oh, I thought Republicans hated minorities. I thought Republicans are racist and they're sexist and they're homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, and they keep saying racist, racist, racist. Which one are you looking at?
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Mick O'Rourke, President and CEO of Signature Bank, Chicago's business bank. I'd like to thank our customers for selecting Signature as their trusted banking partner to help build their businesses. We started Signature in 2006, and we've had the opportunity to meet so many hardworking Chicagoans. From third-generation family-owned businesses on the west side of Chicago to tech innovators at 1871. Signature Bank is proud to work across many different industries in the city and beyond. As the fastest growing, independently owned business bank in Chicago, Signature is always welcoming new customers. I'd love to meet you and learn about your business.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
My blood work with my doctor is the best it's ever been. All my numbers. And this is the only supplement I take now. Whatever I'm doing, he said, keep it up.
We're landlords, and I have about 3 people moving in, and it's been very strenuous, but I have the energy to do it, thanks to, Balance of Nature.
My blood work has been getting better and better every 6 months, and I have no explanation for it other than I'm taking a Balance of Nature. All the numbers are always changing for the better, every blood test.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we'll take off an additional $25 on your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
7:36 AM 560 Traffic Center time. And here is Jim Telemonte.
Inbound Kennedy, delays start at Canfield. It's 54 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 35 from Montrose, 34 in the Express. Eden's 20 minutes from Lake Hook to Montrose. Eisenhower, an hour, 390 to downtown, 46 minutes from Manheim. Stevenson, an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 29 minutes, I-80 to the Verge, Bishopford, 33. Northbound Tri-State, it's tight Archer to the Mylon Bridge. and very heavy from the Stevenson to 47th and from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence. From the Reagan Tollway, traffic slow Farnsworth to Wheeler and Hill to Washington. The northbound Veterans Memorial delays from Fountain to the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. That's traffic. I'm Jim Calamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next in our 1 hour heating and air conditioning weather center. A cool day ahead, sun and clouds. We'll top out at 58, 47 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
Tickets for Freedom Summit Chicago are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com.
Dan and Amy, there's a what's described as a far-right political action committee that's claiming credit for the AOC video and this a woman who was chanting "Eat the babies to save the planet." But now this is Gizmo.com reporting it. The group is called LaRouche PAC.
What's LaRouche PAC?
Like Lyndon LaRouche.
Oh.
I question the legitimacy of that PAC. That sounds to me like the hoax within the hoax, if there is a real hoax.
Well, yeah, the left-wing media has been saying on social media all day that woman was a GOP plant.
Yeah, well, LaRouche PAC, whatever that's supposed to be, is not any organ of the Republican Party. So I'd like to get a lot more context on that. By the way, here's another important note, as you pointed out, Amy. AOC's tweet after the fact, she didn't think it was a hoax.
No, not at all.
You know why she didn't think it was a hoax? Because what that person said?
Maybe she believes.
Well,
should happen.
More to the point, what that person said, she routinely gets exposed to. That's not a big deal. What that person said isn't out of bounds. We don't have just a couple months. We just have several years. But it's not that big of a difference.
She never corrected the woman.
She never corrected her, and she believed that woman was authentic. So there's my response to this report of the LaRouche PAC, and please do provide more reporting on that. I'm open-minded wherever it goes, but AOC's reaction, both in the moment and after the fact, is telling regardless. Switching gears, we talked a little bit about this when the leaked audio from Facebook's internal meetings came out, which proved definitively that Mark Zuckerberg is just as boring as you think.
I mean, it's ambient audio, if you ask me, but
the big
try to stay awake for it.
The big news was, him calling out Elizabeth Warren by name. Oh, the horrors!
Like Elizabeth Warren, who thinks that the right answer is to break up the companies. If she gets elected president, then I would bet that we will have a legal challenge, and I would bet that we will win the legal challenge. So does that still suck for us? Yeah. I mean, I don't have to, have a major lawsuit against our own government. I mean, that's not like the position that you want to be in when you're, it's like we care about our country and want to work with our government to do good things. And but look, at the end of the day, if someone's going to try to threaten something that existential, you go to the mat and you fight.
Yeah, and so after that, because that was such a strong statement, like we oppose Elizabeth Warren breaking us up, he said, I won't be targeting Elizabeth Warren specifically anymore. I'm properly chastened. For more on big tech and 2020, we're pleased to be joined by Michael Rechtenwald again. He's a retired NYU professor. I think he got out just in time. He is the author of a number of books, Springtime for Snowflakes, and his just the end of September released, Google Archipelago, the Digital Gulag, and the Simulation of Freedom. Michael, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me, Dan.
So one of the things that Zuckerberg said, too, in the audio that was leaked and posted from those internal meetings was one of the problems with breaking us up or the pursuit of antitrust prosecutions of big tech companies like Facebook is then we can't work together to prevent election meddling. So it prevents us from collaborating to do good things, and that's a problem. How do you react to that?
Well, it's a it's a lie on its face because, I mean, it's been shown that big tech is involved in election meddling. Specifically, it's been shown, for example, that Google was involved in the 2016 election, and they probably directed tens of millions of votes towards Hillary Clinton because of the way they stack their search results, left-leaning. Their search results are always left-leaning. Their algorithms are tilted to the left all the time. Facebook is also very, very discriminatory. They're very tilted to the left. It's been shown that their deeming of fake news is differentially opposed to right-wing or right-leaning websites as opposed to left, even though the infractions are equal. It's shown that they are differentially opposed to right-leaning users, and they are banning them and shadow banning them in greater numbers than left-leaning, despite the same number of infractions.
Well,
so all these things are, yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. All these things are what?
Obviously, they are not benign, neutral, political actors. They're very politically engaged actors. So it's interesting that Warren is calling for the breakup because, in effect, they're helping the Democratic Party in unbelievable ways. So I would be really surprised if this really is an earnest attempt or an earnest plea to break up big Facebook and other big tech corporations, or rather a ploy or just a bit of rhetoric.
Well, who's Google pushing for in the 2020 election right now?
That's right. They even said, and we were caught on tape on a Project Veritas expose, saying that they were going to intervene in the 2020 elections, that they did not want another repeat or a repeat of 2016. They couldn't have it again. This can't happen again, they said. Despite the fact that they tried to steer the election results in the last election.
Right, and but certainly they redoubled their commitment from both those Project Veritas sort of whistleblower interviews, plus, frankly, just what they said, what Sergey and Larry and Sundar said at that cry room gathering after the election to distill what just had happened and how the world had been shaken to its core. But here's the thing: I want to go to back to that testimony that that psychology professor Robert Epstein gave to that Senate subcommittee the same day that Dennis Prager testified about his content being banned on YouTube and so forth. His research, he's 6 years of research, and he looking at how Google does its algorithms, suggesting some of the same conclusions that you just offered. And he said that they could have moved anywhere between roughly 4 and 10 million votes for Hillary Clinton in 2016, according to his assessments. And if they work together, the big tech companies, they could manipulate and move as many as 15 million votes one direction or the other. And we know which direction they would be likely to move them. Is his research from your research and your writing on the topic, do you find his research to be legitimate and the issues he's raising on point?
Absolutely. In fact, all the other evidence suggests the same. Despite the fact that he's done this research and he's done a great job, there's other studies that have shown the exact same results. That there's the algorithmic tilt is very, very left-leaning as far as the Google searches go. And there's all kind of blacklists for websites that are right-leaning. There are no blacklists for left-leaning websites at all. There are all kinds of blacklists on YouTube, which is also owned by Alphabet. They have YouTube really quickly responded to a Slate reporter who complained after she did an abortion query on YouTube, and it showed a bunch of anti-abortion videos at the top. She complained. They responded within a weekend and turned it around and put these websites on a blacklist. So these videos on a blacklist, so that the search results on YouTube produced top 10 pro-abortion or non-pro-life videos. So I mean, there's no question that he's right about this.
Do you have prescriptions in terms of what should be done? Epstein says not necessarily breaking up the companies, but he certainly would support mandating that Google make its search algorithms transparent so people can assess them straight away.
Yes. See, Google is really not just a corporation, a private corporation. They should be deemed a state apparatus for various reasons. First of all, they were funded by the CIA. That's how they got their initial funding. I mean, this is very well known. So they work and they still cooperate greatly with the state. So they're really an augmentation of state power. Therefore, the non-discrimination policy should apply to their search results. That is, there should be a non-differential treatment of various of political persuasions, or any type of difference in identity or anything like that. Secondly, they're in violation of the 1996 Telecommunications Act, the Section 230, which deemed that the social media sites and other big digital platforms would not be liable for the expression of their users, but that was in exchange for non-politically biased publishing, so that they would not be deemed a publisher who could be held liable for the content. That was an exchange for nonpartisan editing. Okay, but they have not, of course, held up to that.
So strip them of their indemnification for under the liability law, under the libel laws. Yes,
that's right. They should be stripped of their indemnification from liability under the Communications Decency Act of 1996.
When the title of your book, Gulag Archipelago, the Digital Gulag, and the Google Archipelago, the Digital Gulag, and the Simulation of Freedom, obvious reference to Solzhenitsyn. So we're all Alexander Solzhenitsyn now, and what is it that you mean when you say the simulation of freedom?
Well, you know how the internet was built as a place for complete untrammeled exploration and the freedom of information and the easy access to everything in the world, all the world's data. Well, that is really a simulated freedom because it's not real in the fact to the extent that our searches and our explorations have been tilted, have been directed, have been manipulated to a certain extent by Google and other big tech corporations. So the freedom that we feel is really also we're being surveilled upon. So that's the other thing. So this so-called freedom comes at the expense of surveillance. And I'm not just talking about Patriot Act surveillance. I'm talking about Google surveillance. I'm talking about the possibility with the establishment of HARPA, that the Health Advanced Research Projects Agency, which would collect data from various inputs like Alexa, like Google Home and Apple Watch, and report these findings to central databases from which people's lives would be examined, and also their suitability to own a gun might be impacted.
So you think we're going to, you think that there's potential danger here, a la China, where you could have Google driving the government to establish what are essentially social credit scores for all kinds of matters, from gun control to other freedoms.
That's right. This is the beginning of the encroachment of social credit scoring systems, which are very, very applicable all over China. And there's 50 smart cities in China, and those smart cities are basically cities that have have surveillance at every point, where every motion of every citizen is known and tracked. And they're also restricted from certain movements based on their social credit score. The social credit score is like a socio-political credit score, and that is deemed based on their political orientation and their stance towards the Chinese Communist Party. So given that Google and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter are all left-leaning, if they get involved in grading us socially, it's going to have a socio-political element to it. So this means more depersoning or unpersoning of right-leaning people, more digital erasures of people, more digital trammeling, more digital constrictions, because, already there's travel bans on people from entering countries because of their right-leaning social media profiles. This has happened already. Laura Loomer can't enter the UK. Milo Yiannopoulos can't enter Australia. Already people's rights to travel, to move about, as being restricted based on social media platform profiles.
Got it. So grades are out the window in education, but we're going to have grades for as human beings in terms of our
That's
rights.
Right. It'll be in the United
perfect.
States. It'll be a social justice credit score. You know it would be a social justice. How well do you match up to the social justice creed, which is being taught through kindergarten through PhD in the United States?
He is Michael Rechtenwald, a retired NYU professor, author of the book Springtime for Snowflakes, which you should check out, as well as his new offering, Google Archipelago, The Digital Gulag and the Simulation of Freedom. Michael, thanks for joining us. Good luck with the book.
Great. Thanks for having me very much.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you looking to improve your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at Pheasant Run in St. Charles. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home, inside and out. Get trusted advice on your upcoming projects as you speak with local and national experts who will help you with all your home improvement needs. And be sure to attend the free expert seminars and see live product demonstrations all weekend. Be sure to grab your fall plants, flowers, and pumpkins by We Grow Dreams and Sunny Acres, and so much more. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend at Pheasant Run in St. Charles, with free admission and free parking. For more details, visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com. That's pheasantrunhomeshow.com. Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend in St. Charles. Visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com for more details.
Balance of nature, changing the world one life at a time.
My blood work with my doctor is the best it's ever been, all my numbers. And this is the only supplement I take now. Whatever I'm doing, he said, keep it up.
We're landlords, and I have about 3 people moving in, and it's been very strenuous, but I have the energy to do it, thanks to, balance of nature.
My blood work has been getting better and better every 6 months, and I have no explanation for it other than I'm taking a balance of nature. All the numbers are always changing for the better, every blood test.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we'll take off an additional $25 on your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real, natural-looking hair back permanently. They're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts MORE to 85850. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text MORE to 85850. That's MORE to 85850.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and just because summer is over doesn't mean it's too late to paint your home. Fall is a great time to check painting off your to-do list. By now, I think I've had my entire home painted by CertaPro painters. They really are the best. You know, CertaPro painters make painting this fall easy and quick. They have more availability, which means you can have your home professionally painted much faster. Cooler weather is arriving, so it is time to think about protecting your home from the elements once again. Have CertaPro painters paint the exterior of your home as well. And with kids going back to school and the family moving back indoors, get excited about cozy nights with a new look from CertaPro painters. Don't put it off. It's time to hire CertaPro painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Or call 800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, Bobby De Niro is getting sued over his potty mouth.
Yeah, a former assistant who started with him when she was in her early 20s. You know, she had dreams of becoming an actress, but now she's suing him for millions of dollars because he's been bullying her. He's made derogatory comments. He's made her life pretty much hell.
Okay, you're living in Spain, and you're upset with me because you tell me how nice you have it, your life over there, and you don't answer my call? How dare you? You're about to be fired. You're history. How dare you? With all the good things you do, this is bullshit. After Christmas, this. How dare you disrespect me? How much you did? You want another position? You want another position? Then say you want another position. Go off somewhere. But don't get angry with me because I'm pissed off because I didn't get a simple thing that I need right now here out in California when I'm here for less than 24 hours. You got to be fucking kidding me, you spoiled brat. You. So quit whatever you want. How could you say you don't answer? You're upset because you're living in Spain. You spoiled fucking brat.
Her former assistant, Graham Chase Robinson, she says she's suing him, claiming he made sexually charged comments to her, was verbally abusive. You just got a taste of that.
Right.
Assigned her to stereotypically female duties. I don't know what that means. And this $12 million lawsuit that she's filed comes after he filed a $6 million lawsuit against her. She also claims De Niro referred to a female business partner by the C word. She said De Niro was often intoxicated, would lash out at her, also joke with her about his Viagra prescription, and would ask her to imagine him on the toilet.
See, okay, gross. I mean,
oh, does this
now
mean
I don't want to go see the movie Joker because he's in it, or just I can keep the theme Joker because he's a Joker.
It's well, I won't.
Oh,
I won't ruin it for you.
What? Tell me.
No, I won't ruin it for you.
Ah.
It's still worth seeing, even though Bobby's in it. And it could be his last movie, so you should see it.
Okay, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk September jobs numbers and Trump tariff tallies with Scott the Cowguy Shalady at 8:08.
But now let's head into... Excuse me, I burped. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
You should get that checked out before the football game
Why
tonight.
don't you take that Michigan hat off?
No, thank you.
You're so much better looking without it.
Oh,
I mean, really.
no, I'm very handsome in my Michigan hat. I was in Ann Arbor last weekend. Thank you. Gunman found guilty of murdering Tyshawn Lee. We're going to get reaction for you from the courtroom. CPD officer and two others bit by a dog on the west side. Congressman Schiff blasting President Trump at Northwestern University. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
The unemployment rate goes down again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, dropping to the lowest level in 50 years. Fox's Ginny Casola details the just-out jobs report live.
Dave, the unemployment rate slipped to 3.5% in September. It was expected to hold steady at 3.7%. The most important reading in this report is that it does not have any signs of recession. There were 136,000 new jobs created, weaker than the 145,000 forecast, but considered modest job growth. Americans are making a little more money. Average hourly earnings rose 2.9% over the past year. Dave?
Now, Ginny, we already have reaction in a Trump tweet stating unemployment's at a 50-year low. Wow, America, let's impeach your president, even though he did nothing wrong, which, of course, Democrats dispute, especially after the president called on China to also investigate Joe Biden and son Hunter.
A fundamental breach of the president's oath of office. It endangers our elections. It endangers our national security.
Adam Schiff is leading the impeachment inquiry, and his House committee will next hour privately question the intelligence community's inspector general. Democrats are also demanding documents by today from the Trump administration, but there is a counter demand from the White House, where Fox's John Decker is live.
The White House sending a letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi today, essentially daring her to hold a vote on the Democrats' impeachment inquiry into President Trump. Without a formal vote, the White House says it won't comply with the Democrats' investigation. Meanwhile, President Trump tweeting, "As president, I have an obligation to end corruption, even if that means requesting the help of a foreign country or countries. It is done all the time." He continued, "This has nothing to do with politics or a political campaign against the Bidens. This does have to do with their corruption." Dave?
On Wall Street, after that jobs report came out, stock futures went higher. America's listening to Fox News.
8:02 in Chicago on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. Dwight Boone Doty is guilty of murdering 9-year-old Tyshawn Lee in 2015.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Dwight Doty, guilty of first-degree murder.
Jurors convicting him yesterday of shooting Tyshawn Lee execution style after luring the 9-year-old into a Southside alley. Prosecutors say Doty killed the boy to avenge the murder of the brother of his co-defendant, Corey Morgan. A separate jury will decide Morgan's fate. Congressman Adam Schiff blasting President Trump last night at Northwestern University over allegations that he requested to have foreign powers interfere in the U.S. electoral process.
As we saw today, all too staggeringly, the president is now quite overtly, once again, calling on a foreign nation, today China, to intervene in our election by doing a sham investigation of his opponent.
Schiff also criticized Republicans for failing to stand up to the president. A Chicago police officer and 2 others are in stable condition after they were bit by a dog on the west side. Authorities say a man and woman were bitten by the loose canine yesterday in the 2400 block of Lawndale Avenue. Police responded to the scene. The dog then bit one of the officers. A sergeant at the scene then shot and killed the dog. 7 remain hospitalized after a Pink Line train crashed into a vehicle in Cicero. The vehicle was northbound on 47th Avenue last night when the driver tried to go around downed rail crossing gates. Blackhawks open the NHL season today against the Flyers in Prague with a 1 p.m. puck drop this afternoon. College football, Illinois visiting Minnesota tomorrow in the Big Ten. Northwestern's at Nebraska. And on AM 560, NIU welcomes Ball State with a 2 p.m. pregame, 2:30 kick in DeKalb. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. Now the latest from the Fox Business Network.
I'm Deirdre Bolton, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Apple is said to be stepping up production of its iPhone 11. Reports in Japan say Apple has told suppliers to prepare for sales increasing 10%. Its CEO Tim Cook told a French publication today he sees sales of the phone growing. Costco is reporting strong sales in the summer quarter, up more than 5%. But Costco had a tax bill that cut into its profit. United Airlines is hiring pilots. It just launched Aviate, a pilot recruitment and career website. United says nearly half of its 12,500 pilots are retiring in the next decade. So it's estimating it will hire more than 10,000 pilots by 2029. Wall Street will be reacting to the September employment report today. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
8:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Tickets for Freedom Summit 2019 sold out in record time in response to the high demand. We've opened up an overflow room for attendees to watch the event on Saturday, November 2nd at the Westin Chicago Northwest. Overflow tickets are on sale now, but are selling fast. Get yours at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists, PJN Tax Solutions, the Illinois Family Institute, Income Store, and by Best Dental Group of Bartlett.
My name is David Hochberg. If you'd like to pay off debt, call Team Hochberg now about a cash-out refinance. During May, Team Hochberg helped listeners access $953,000 to pay off credit cards, student loans, car loans, medical bills, collections, and IRS tax liens, which saved them close to $19,000 a month. Since January, Team Hochberg has saved listeners over $74,000 a month, which is an annualized savings of over $888,000. What are you waiting for? Call Team Hochberg now to see if we can help you pay off debt and substantially reduce your monthly payments with a cash-out refinance. Think of all the things you could do with an extra $500, $1,000, or $1,500 a month that you'd be saving. Call Team Hochberg now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1124061.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
8:07 on AM 560. Let's get an update on the roads with Jim Talamonte.
Westbound 8094, traffic heavy from Martin Luther King Drive to Grant Street, where the exit is closed due to a major wreck this morning. See delays on the northbound Tri-State from Archer to the Mile Bridge, from the Stevenson to Ogden, and pockets from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence. It's about Reagan Tollway traffic's tight, Farnsworth to Wheeler, and Mill to Washington. The northbound Veterans Memorial out into the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Cook to the Junction. Kennedy, 50 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, heavier in the Express. Eisenhower, 390 to downtown, it's an hour. Stevenson, an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 31 minutes from 95th. I-57, 27 minutes, I-80 to the Merge. Bishop, 436. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Times of sun and clouds. It'll be cool today. The high 58, partly cloudy tonight, low 47. Tomorrow, cloudy with a bit of rain for the late afternoon, the high 63. Partly sunny, breezy on Sunday, high 64. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
47 at O'Hare. Next news, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Mr. President, paraphrasing Shylock in Merchant of Venice, if you prick me, do I not bleed? Tariffs on scotch?
Oh, yeah.
Increasing the price of scotch? Mr. President, how could you? Where's your humanity? $7.5 billion worth of tariffs on EU products starting October 18th per the WTO ruling in America's favor. 10% tariffs on EU aircraft industry products, 25% tariff on farm goods, industrial products, including cheese, olive oil, fruit juice, jelly, seafood, wine, whiskey, and textiles.
There goes your cheese and wine.
Wine, whiskey, and textiles was the name of my high school tribute band to Iron and Wine.
Oh, okay.
You see what we did there?
I do.
Yeah. For more on this and, of course, discussion of the 136,000 non-farm payroll jobs created in September, we're pleased to be joined again by our friend Scott Shalady, Fox Business contributor. Scott, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Give us your read on the 136K jobs. Now, do it in this context. This from NFIB and their chief economist, William Dunkelberg. The inability to assemble work teams is a major contributor to the lackluster performance of the construction industry. Among others, 14% of all firms reported using temporary workers, unchanged from August. We still have a very high incidence, high number of employers, particularly small businesses, saying they can't find qualified workers.
Yeah, that's true. And there's more jobs out there than people are looking. So there's a lot of, those are all positive signs. And there was a little bit of a disappointing number. Just missed by, we were expecting around 145,000, so missed by about 10,000. However, July and August, the revisions to those numbers were more than made up for what we missed in September. So it's a solid It's a solid report. I mean, it does definitely say that, for all those people that were hoping for a recession, you've got to keep hoping because it's not going to happen anytime soon. At least with these numbers, it's not going to happen. And another big headline number, which you'll see in the newspapers tomorrow, is a 3.5% unemployment rate. So there's a lot that the president will probably have to cheer about today, and he's already started. and and they're and it was actually kind of funny. But I think it goes to show you that the U.S. is doing very well in the face of a lot of international economic turmoil as well as political turmoil. And I guess the question really is, and I keep talking about it over and over again, is how well or how long can the U.S. withstand these negative waves that keep hitting us from both Europe and Asia, because things are generally not very good over there, and it's definitely affecting our economy here. So if you take the U.S. on its own in a vacuum, you could probably make the argument that we don't really need to cut rates, right? But with what's happening in Europe, and I think if you ask me what the economy is over there.
Hey, Scott, you're fading out us on a little bit.
All right, sorry. Can you hear me
back?
now? Sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you now. All right, so
Can
we've
you hear
had
me
a few
okay?
tumultuous days on the stock market, and then, there's manufacturing jobs, which are, we're losing manufacturing jobs. Does any of this have to do with impeachment?
No, I don't think so. The market shrugged off impeachment pretty well. The thing that, there are some economists that are actually calling for an uptick in the U.S. economy next year. And I think that they're largely trying to model in there the fact that we're going to get something done with China, and the USMCA will be passed, the new NAFTA will be passed. So the thing that would really give this economy a boost would be those types of trade agreements, and that's what we really do need. We don't need to cut rates. Rates are so low anyway. It's going to be nominal, almost ceremonial cut of interest rates. It's going to give investors some sort of a good feeling, but it's not going to really be a big boost to the economy. And the reason I say that is that they're still cutting rates over in Europe, and it's not really doing anything either. So the impeachment talk, the only problem is with that is it would slow down getting anything done as far as trade goes, and that would be really, really good for the economy. But other than that, the market seems to be overlooking it.
What about what you just said, though, about how long can we withstand the negative waves coming on shore from the rest of the world? Well, couldn't we have a bit of a twofer if President Trump did what he could do without Congress, which is to unilaterally reduce tariffs rather than imposing more? It would be a boost to EU and China, and by extension, it would be a boost to us, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's got that card still, in his hands. Obviously, it would be a boost. And everybody, there's been talk about that. There's been talk about what he's picking a lot of fights too at the same time, which is kind of hard to do as well. And I also think that we've got, there's some things out there that make me think twice. That just don't add up to me after doing this job for 31 years. We're going to have a headline unemployment rate of 3.5% today, right? That's amazingly good.
Right.
That's so amazingly good. We're going to have to cut rates. What? That doesn't make sense.
Right.
I mean, we've got a lot of not make sense things in our economy right now. It seems like the lower the unemployment rate goes, the less wages go up. So we've got all of these conundrums, these issues that are just not making sense to me. And that's where I think the economy is probably on a little bit of shaky ground.
Yeah, but would you say that those paradoxes, though, are the result of government policy that runs afoul of market forces? So, for example, $15 minimum wage laws are a downward pressure on salaries, on income, salaries. So that would just be one example. But in this, really this government managed economy that we have, you have the market producing these results in spite of, not because of regulatory and tax policy.
You're right. It's not even nature versus nurture. It's nature versus butcher, right? I mean, they've been butchering it, right? Yeah. So if they would have just let nature take its course, we'd be doing a lot better. But you're right. That's the government's fat hand screwing everything up and making these things not add up. You can't have a 3.5% unemployment rate and talk about rate cuts. You just can't do it. But we are, because, again, you're right, nature versus butcher. So we're going to have to get through a lot of these things, but the problem is we're not going to be able to do it. It's not going to happen fast because of what's happening in Washington. It's going to slow the pace down. And I think that...
I want to get your take on this idea that comes from Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton. He's suggesting that the tax revenue generated from tariffs on foreign goods be rebated to taxpayers in the bottom three brackets. So since many of these tariffs are regressive in their negative effect on consumers, then the tax revenue that's generated should be progressive in its distribution, and that would somewhat blunt the negative impacts on consumers, particularly lower down the socioeconomic ladder, blunt the negative impact on them of the tariffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that, And it goes back to this issue that, there's the unseen negativity of what China's been doing, right? Because what Trump's been doing with the tariffs, you can see how that hurts. And that wouldn't be a bad plan, actually. That would probably be a very good plan. But what we have to agree on is the fact that when you've got what they're doing with intellectual properties and when U.S. companies want to set up stakes over there, nobody really sees that pain and feels that pain. But if there's some sort of agreement that we finally get done with them, that will be such a big boost to our economy as well as the world economy that it's going to be something that I think would be the reason why some of these economists are calling for a much better market next year. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good idea. Why not? I mean, I think that the bottom part of the economy could get a tax boost from all those extra revenues, and I don't think anybody would have a problem with it.
But what is the genesis of this? Is this to try and stop them from stealing our intellectual property?
Yeah, they're just not. They're not trading fairly. We've always addressed it, but we've never done anything about it. And so, yes, they take our intellectual property. Just like all the knockoff purses that I'm sure you buy every now and again.
Oh yeah,
me too.
Especially when I go to New York, they're everywhere.
It's the same thing with our intellectual property. Basically, I mean, you can go into China and walk down the street and see an Apple shop, but it's not Apple, right? It's 100% looks the same. It looks like a Louis Vuitton purse. So if that all stops, think about all those revenues that we're going to pick up, and think about if that all stops for every other major economy. All the Italian handbags or any other IT out there. So that's so big. It's so good. But right now, the reason why people don't want to acquiesce to the Chinese right now is because that will be something that's very good. But the problem is that nobody saw the pain in the first place, so they're not really quite sure what we're fighting for.
What would you say, just in the vein of the Tom Kahn proposal, if we also liquidated the holdings of all companies in which Hunter Biden is involved, and we redistributed those funds to the lower three quintiles as well? Scott, we lost you there.
It would take too long.
Oh,
it would take too long.
Sure.
And we wouldn't. It would be months or years before we'd find out how many things he's involved with. And that would be another Mueller report.
All right. He is Scott Shellady, Fox Business contributor. Scott, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
See you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, this is Steve Howard, and for years now I've been telling you about Health Markets, a free service that helps people find the right Medicare plan at the right price. So when I qualified for Medicare, well, I took my own advice and called for myself. With Health Market's new Fit Score, you can instantly compare thousands of Medicare plans from top national insurance companies, whether you're just enrolling or already have Medicare coverage. Plans with prescription drug, dental, and vision coverage at no additional cost. Plans with benefits for hearing aids and diabetic supplies, even $0 copays or premiums. Better plans that let you keep your doctor and save money, as much as $1,200 a year out of pocket. Enrollment in the right plan is not automatic, and the wrong plan can cost you thousands. Don't go it alone when there's smart, unbiased help just a call away, and their service is free.
Go to healthmarkets.com for details or call 800-691-2240. That's 800-691-2240. 800-691-2240.
Hey, I want to thank a good friend of the show, Rich Calderazzo. What's this?
Yeah, Rich Calderazzo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rich Calderazzo.
Member of Bo Schembechler's 1968 Michigan team.
Oh, yeah, because Michigan plays Iowa tomorrow for Iowa's homecoming.
That's right.
I love when the Maize and Gold lose.
Could be Jim Harbaugh's last game if they lose in Iowa.
Oh, it will be, because you are going to lose. Anyway, don't be a loser and get Permaseal. Don't have water in your basement. Don't be one of those guys. Be like the millions of people who've been helped by Permaseal. And you can get a free estimate. That's right, a free estimate and no haggle pricing and a price assurance guarantee. So you can rest assured that you are getting the best value. Roy Spencer started Permaseal back in 1979, and it's still a local Chicagoland family business doing the right thing and standing behind their work. Your basement is dry most of the time, but if you want your basement dry all of the time, you know who to call. You know the number, too. Come on, admit it. 1-800-421-SEAL. That's 1-800-421-7325. Or go to permaseal.net.
Are you looking to improve your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at Pheasant Run in St. Charles. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home, inside and out. Get trusted advice on your upcoming projects as you speak with local and national experts who will help you with all your home improvement needs. And be sure to attend the free expert seminars and see live product demonstrations all weekend. Be sure to grab your fall plants, flowers, and pumpkins by We Grow Dreams and Sunny Acres, and so much more. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend at Pheasant Run in St. Charles, with free admission and free parking. For more details, visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com. That's pheasantrunhomeshow.com. Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend in St. Charles. Visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com for more details.
Well, let's go Hawks. Hey, believe it or not, the calendar says October. Yes, it's fall. It's homecoming in Iowa. Leaves are starting to change colors, and for you, maybe you're starting to feel your energy level slipping. Maybe you're having trouble sleeping. Maybe your immune system's down. Whatever the case, admit it, you're not getting enough fruits and veggies. And you buy the fruits and veggies, you put them in your refrigerator, and we all know what happens. They start rotting because you don't want to eat them. So don't. Just take Balance of Nature instead. 6 capsules of Balance of Nature, you're getting 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies. You hear the stories right here on this station all the time about how people's lives have changed by taking a Balance of Nature. And guess what? The next story could be yours. But you've got to order Balance of Nature today. And right now, when you do, you become a preferred customer, which awards you the best pricing and free shipping and an additional $25 off your first order. Limited time offer, friends, so do not wait. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Use discount code Chicago or go to balanceofnature.com. Discount code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, all the scuttlebutt is, of course, the opening of Joker this weekend, which I've seen and Amy will see.
I know, but how was it?
It's worth seeing. If nothing but for the cinematography and Joaquin Phoenix's performance, it is very.
Well, are you more violent? I'm sorry, but are you a more violent person for having seen that movie?
I mean, it's an absurd question.
Well, that's what the whole scuttlebutt is. They're beefing up security in L.A., New York, and here in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean,
worried about mass shootings. That this movie's going to perpetuate someone to commit a mass shooting.
There was a squad car sitting in front of the AMC River East in Streeterville when I came out of the theater. I mean, that's the extent of the beefing up of security. I mean, give me a break. And it's not appropriate. The Chicago police have better things to do, frankly. It's not appropriate. So, I mean, it's very nihilistic. It's there's a couple of good reviews in both the Journal and Kyle Smith and National Review, if you want to read a review before you go. I don't want to spoil it for people because I know a lot of people are going to watch it, but go to see it as well. You should. The criticisms of it, the idea that this shouldn't be shown because of the nature of the violence. I mean, obviously, I'm philosophically opposed to that anyway. But I mean, I really don't see much to hold on to with respect to those arguments. It is interesting. The only thing I'll tell you is De Niro in the film.
Yes, potty mouth De Niro now.
It's interesting because it's a role reversal from his role in Mr. Saturday Night, which is a great movie. So I'll just tell you that. But you got to see it for yourself. Make your own determinations. If you want to read reviews, I've given you 2 sources.
Is it gruesomely violent? Is it gory? Is it scary? Is it a scary film?
It's there's anxiety that accompanies it throughout the film, partly the way it's shot and partly just because of Joaquin Phoenix's presence. I mean, it's really interesting and it's manic.
Oh, it's one. So do you leave feeling fulfilled? Do you leave
Oh my gosh! All right, can I get to the Clint Eastwood film? I mean, you're like,
is it depressing?
I don't. I pay somebody $200 an hour to talk about my feelings. I mean, I'm not going to lay down here.
Well, the Tribune wrote an article saying it was a painful movie to watch, and you felt a sense of sorrow leaving the theater.
Yeah, sorrow's too strong.
No, you know what? No, I don't want to talk about your feelings.
I think it's a little bit befuddling. It's almost empty. I mean, it's almost there's like, I don't know. So,
all right, now
all right.
am I going to charge you $200?
So with all the I'm going to charge you.
No, I'm charging you.
With all the fanfare associated with this, there will be a associated fanfare. It's just starting, but the trailer is out for Clint Eastwood's new offering, Richard Jewell. And of course, Richard Jewell, the man who was wrongly accused of being responsible for the bombing attempt at the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta. Here's the trailer for that.
Let's get a new tape going. All right, Richard, here's what we're going to do.
We need a voice exemplar.
I want you to say into this phone, there's a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
Richard, you're a national hero now.
Thank you, sir. But I was just doing my job.
You always look at the guy who found the bomb, just like you always look at the guy who found the body.
Jewell fits the profile of the lone bomber.
A frustrated white man who is a police wannabe who seeks to become a hero.
We're running it.
You're a suspect.
You don't talk. I talk. Say it.
I don't talk.
This might be the only way to clear your name. I want you to say there's a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
Stop trying to be their best friend.
I was raised to respect authority.
Authority's looking to eat you alive.
There's a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
I'm sorry, what?
His accusers are two of the most powerful forces in the world. The United States government and the media.
I do want to help y'all. I'm law enforcement, too. There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
Did he do it?
Richard Jewell is an innocent man. He's a hero.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
One more time, just a little louder.
I report the facts.
You've ruined this man's life.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
Do a couple in a row.
My son saved people's lives.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
You set that bomb.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
I don't know how to protect you.
I think your client is guilty as hell.
They want to fry you.
You ready to start fighting back?
FBI and the big government media.
Yeah, news, NBC, CNN, New York Post, Atlanta Journal, Constitution. They're all sued by Richard Jewell, and a lot of the companies settled out of court. I remember NBC gave a lot of money.
Yeah, well,
Richard Jewell, and they should have.
Unfortunately, Richard Jewell died of complications from diabetes at the young age of 44. So it's a tragic story all the way around. But what I sense from this film is that Eastwood really gets after the FBI and the media, specifically Kathy Scruggs, played by Olivia Wilde, who is that Atlanta Journal-Constitution reporter, for their rush to judgment. And you heard that that incantation from the Olivia Wilde Kathy as Kathy Scruggs. Jewell fits the profile of the lone bomber, a frustrated white man who's a police wannabe who seeks to become a hero. That was a conclusion they had pre-drawn, and so they worked backwards rather than forwards. Well, so you accused an innocent man, and you destroyed his life. Sam Rockwell plays his attorney.
He does a great job.
Kathy Bates plays his mom. So John Hamm plays the lead FBI investigator. So this is an all-star cast. This should be good.
I know, but I remember being in the newsroom in 1996 in NBC, and I'm like, well, he is not. I wouldn't do it. And there was a lot of discussions about naming him as a suspect, and then everybody quoted the Atlanta Journal. So that was their attribution because they were the lead on that. But still, NBC had to pay, and rightfully so, millions of dollars to Richard Jewell.
Yeah, Ray Donovan.
I can't wait to see it.
Reagan's former, I think it was Labor Secretary Ray Donovan. Where do I go to get my reputation back after he was acquitted on federal corruption charges? Same thing with Richard Jewell. The money only goes so far. People know Richard Jewell. I think, thankfully, because there's so much publicity, and hopefully this movie helps to right the record of how he was so wrongly accused and so manipulated and poorly treated by a media that long ago as well as present day, is more interested in telling the stories they want to be true than what is true.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Speaking of the media, somebody else treated badly, this young man by the Des Moines Journal-Register. He was Carson King, and he's being honored by an Illinois brewer named Glenn Cole, who we'll talk to at 8:38.
But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
46 degrees, clouds and sunshine. Text messages by U.S. diplomats in Ukraine appear to show an effort to push Ukraine's new president to commit to investigations of Joe and Hunter Biden. The text messages between former envoy Kurt Volker and other U.S. diplomats released Thursday by House Democrats who are trying to lead their caucus into an impeachment inquiry by other committees as well. China has cooled to President Trump's call to investigate Biden and his son in Beijing. Chinese officials say they have little interest in getting involved in what they term a U.S. political controversy. People familiar with negotiations in the GM strike say representatives of GM and the UAW are narrowing gaps between positions. A U.S. envoy reportedly talking with the Taliban this morning. Reuters says a Taliban delegation met with the U.S. representative for Afghanistan yesterday in Pakistan. It is the first known contact between the two sides since President Trump called off talks last month. Chicago police officer and 2 others are in stable condition after they were bit by a dog on the west side. 7 are hospitalized after a Pink Line train crashed into a vehicle in Cicero. And a casino operator now has its eyes on the south suburbs. Daily Southtown reporting Wind Creek Hospitality will seek a state license to open a casino on land in East Hazelcrest and Homewood. The newspaper says those 2 suburbs are expected to vote on the project next week. Blackhawks open the season on the NHL regular season against Philadelphia in Prague today. That is a 1 p.m. afternoon start. Football tomorrow in the Big Ten. Illinois visits Minnesota. Northwestern is at Nebraska right here on AM 560. NIU welcomes Ball State with a 2:30 kick in DeKalb. The news service of Panera Bread. At Panera, get breakfast that's fast, not fast food. Try a new Chipotle chicken, scrambled egg, and avocado breakfast wrap and pair it with a premium, freshly ground, freshly brewed coffee, all ready to go with the push of a button. Panera, food as it should be. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher thinks Democrats are trying to have it both ways.
I thought they were worried about foreign interference in our election. I thought they were worried. I thought that was a big deal. I guess it's not a big deal now that Trump won, right? 3 years ago. Now they don't want an investigation into countries meddling in our election? Which, incidentally, that's a two-way street.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you looking to improve your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at Pheasant Run in St. Charles. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home, inside and out. Get trusted advice on your upcoming projects as you speak with local and national experts who will help you with all your home improvement needs. And be sure to attend the free expert seminars and see live product demonstrations all weekend. Be sure to grab your fall plants, flowers, and pumpkins by We Grow Dreams and Sunny Acres, and so much more. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend at Pheasant Run in St. Charles with free admission and free parking. For more details, visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com. That's pheasantrunhomeshow.com. Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend in St. Charles. Visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com for more details.
Balance of nature, changing the world one life at a time.
Hey, let me tell you something. That balanced nature really works, man. I mean, I work constantly on the road, and I put in 60 hours in 4 days, 15 hours a day, and I'm telling you, this stuff works. I don't get sick. I have plenty of energy. I'm 46 years old. I'm an old man, and I can't tell you how grateful I am to have this stuff. So I just want you to know that this stuff really works, and I'm grateful that this Dr. Howard guy figured it out. So I'll leave it at that.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we'll take off an additional $25 on your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
8:37. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center. Jim Talamonte.
Inbound Kennedy, traffic's heavy Foster to the Bird Circle, 50 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 35 from Montrose, 32 in the Express. How about 32 minutes to O'Hare? Enid's 20 minutes. Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 27. Eisenhower, 61 minutes, 390 to downtown, 38 from Manheim. Outbound 52 minutes to 390 after a crash at St. Charles. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 38 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound tri-state delays are from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, 47th to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence. Go to Reagan Tollway, tight Naperville to 355. Veterans Memorial, Fountain to Maple, and Army Trail to Lake. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next in our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Cool day ahead, sun and clouds mixed, and a high of 58. Currently, we have 50 degrees. Your next news update is at 9, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with Stephen Leahy. Every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2 on AM 560, The Answer.
I got to correct myself. Iowa plays at Michigan for their homecoming, not our homecoming.
Right, it's Michigan's homecoming.
Noontime kickoff, 11 a.m. here.
Yeah, our mutual friend, Rich Calderazzo, not only does he have tickets for us,
yeah,
if you want to go.
Yeah. Can't. I have to coach 7 games tomorrow.
No.
Float off.
Hey, it's your decision.
And he's got a
tailgate
spot, right?
Calderazzo's Corner there at Ann Arbor.
Oh,
well, he's
fancy friends you have.
Well, he played football under Bo Schembechler at Michigan. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe you can introduce me to him someday.
I mean, boy, if they lose to Iowa at home,
ooh, that's gonna be. It's gonna be a tough game. It's never easy. Iowa's never an easy team to play. No, it's not. I'm telling you, we don't give up.
I think Calderazzo will be reduced to a puddle of tears. Number one, and number two, they may not be able to wait till the end of the year to get rid of Jim Harbaugh after Ohio State pounds them. Okay, switching gears, but
staying in the state of Iowa.
Yeah, not totally. Carson King was this kid who rose to accidental celebrity by having a funny sign in the background during ESPN Game Day and generating so much attention that you had corporate sponsors or corporations
put his name and face on cans of Busch Light.
Yeah, and
the Carson Kings.
And he raised something on the order of $1.4 million for Children's Hospital in Iowa.
And this is a cyclone. He went to Iowa State, but he gave the money to a Children's Hospital in Iowa City. The one that you always see in the background. They always stop and wave to the kids who are watching the game from the hospital. It's so beautiful. But and they ruined this beautiful moment because of something Carson King tweeted when he was 16 years old.
Yeah, Des Moines Register got into, looking at the Twitter history of Carson King because, he wanted to make sure that he was a true, authentic hero, that he had never offered a tone-deaf tweet because, of course, that is a crime from which no one can recover, even as a teenager. They found some, and they wrote about it, and corporations walked away from them, although they restated their commitments, their donor commitments to the hospital, but they walked away from Carson King. And then, ironically, the reporter who uncovered Carson King's tweets had some intemperate tweets of his own, so he got bounced from the Des Moines Register. And then you had speaking of tone deaf, the editor of the Des Moines Register write this sort of public letter to the public where she talked about, the need to investigate the subjects that we write stories about in a comprehensive way, blah, 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 blah. A bunch of nonsense, nothing resembling any sort of journalistic ethics. So anyway, that's sort of the saga, and it continues as now an Illinois brewer, Geneseo Brewing Company, has stepped into this situation and this story as well. And we're pleased to be joined by Glenn Cole, who is the head brewer at Geneseo Brewing Company. Glenn, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So you became aware of the story, I assume, like everybody else did, with the reporting from beginning to end. And then what is it that Geneseo decided to do on behalf of Carson King?
Yeah, so I run a beer industry podcast called What's Happening. So people send me a lot of up-to-date news on breaking things that are happening in the beer industry, and somebody had sent me the statement that Anheuser-Busch decided to cut ties with Carson King over some tweets from when he was 16 that were mimicking a Tosh.0 skit that they didn't ever release exactly what was said, just their version and their view of how they took the tweets. And it just so happened that next morning I had a new Pilsner that was just about to go into kegs, and I didn't have a name for it. And I kind of had a light bulb moment and said, this is a lager. This is something that, all these people that are so mad at Busch Light and are saying that they'll never drink a Busch Light, this is something that they could drink. And we could do it for the same cause, and we could continue, to bring the spotlight of this good effort, this noble act that this person is completely selflessly doing and should really be judged on, and not, the history of when they were 16 years old.
That's a real twofer, because on the one hand, you're honoring Carson King and all the money he raised for the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. On the other hand, you're giving people an alternative so they don't have to drink Busch Light, because what offends me is the taste of Busch Light, actually.
So what's the name of this pale? Is it a pale ale or lager? What's the name of it?
So it's an unfiltered Pilsner. So it's called a Zwickel beer or a Keller beer in Germany. But it's called Iowa Legend. So I had written a letter, just kind of an open letter that we posted on Facebook that said that we completely have seen the growth that this person has had from the time that they were 16 and until they were 24. And if you had to dig back that long, this person has obviously had a lot of growth in that time. So we just said that we had his back and that we'd like to dedicate the beer to him. And that letter just went completely viral. Within 5 hours, it had reached 1 million people.
Wow.
And a lot of people, we're only 20 minutes from the Iowa border. We're really close. So we're in the Quad City area. So we had a lot of people that followed our page and that got out to our page that personally knew Carson, and were texting him and messaging him on Facebook and things. And so he got back to us very quickly and said, that he really appreciates the support and he couldn't wait to try the beer. And
so is his likeness on the can or bottle?
Yeah. So we put his face, his image of him holding the sign on the can, and then he's actually holding the can of beer. So it's kind of like that infinity effect.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we got his permission to use his picture, and it's called Iowa Legend. And, we went that route, and within, that idea sparked at noon on last Wednesday, and we had to get art made, we had to get labels printed, and we did all of that within 12 hours, and we're able to put the beer out the next day.
All right, so how are sales going, and how can we get a case to go?
So yeah, sales were incredibly crazy for that first weekend. So we ended up selling 700 cans in an hour and a half on the first day.
Oh my gosh!
And we're selling them at $5 a piece, with $1 going straight to the children's or to Carson's Venmo account that got matched. And then we're a small brew pub. We're just your neighborhood little brew pub. We don't really distribute, or normally we don't regularly package very much. And so we only have a 5-barrel brew system. I was only able to get 11 half-barrel kegs out of the batch. We sold out of every drop of it in under 3 days.
Does yeah? I mean, by the way, this is the difference. So it's $5 up here.
Oh my
That's
God,
60% more. That's an $8 can if it's a nickel. Does Carson get like a lifetime supply, or what does he get out of it other than immortality?
So we actually got to meet with him. We went to his. He had a rally in Des Moines for the very last day, the countdown of trying to. They tried to reach that 3 million mark, which did get met.
Oh, it did.
So he did raise $3 million
Wow.
for the Children's Hospital. Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. So we got to meet with him, and we actually have partnered up with 2 other small breweries in our area, one that has an Iowa location. And we're going to be working together to scale up the recipe to be able to have it distributed all over Iowa and all over Illinois. So that should be hitting shelves in stores probably within a month.
I mean, $3 million for that hospital. He's like a one-man capital campaign. That's crazy. And so I wonder if in Quad Cities and with your friends across the border in Iowa, if the sort of backlash against the Des Moines Register and Carson King's treatment is virtually unanimous.
It's pretty insane for how much of the support that we were getting just from stepping up and saying what everybody was kind of thinking, or making the statement that Bush probably should have made from the beginning. That's how we feel. But I think we had over 4,000 reactions on our original Facebook post, and only 3 of them were negative.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you've had
for that kind of overwhelming amount of support.
Yeah, and that's the only backlash you've had from the public or your customers?
Yeah, we haven't had any from our customers. We haven't had any, bad. I think we had one very, very negative comment in our thread on our post, and within an hour, somebody had dug up an old racist meme that person had posted on Facebook.
That's awesome.
That was from 2016.
Classic.
So I mean, that's the exact that's the exact message that we're putting out there. That people say dumb things, they do dumb things, but it's growth. Is it that same person today that it was when they were 16, or even 2 years ago, depending? But what you're doing now and showing that growth from whenever you did make that mistake, that's the true thing that we should be looking at.
Oh, I love
All right,
that.
here's how I want the story to end. So this is up to you. I want the story to end with
I want a case
Geneseo Brewing Company buying Anheuser-Busch and making Carson King like the Spuds McKenzie spokesman of the company. Do you think that's possible?
I don't think it's possible. We don't really work well with the Belgians and big corporations. we tend to like our independent craft beer symbol on every can and every bottle.
So do you think
we take a lot of pride in that?
Will we be able to buy it out here in Chicago, or do I have to go to the Quad Cities, or
you have websites down there, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a Chicago distributor, so once it's all packaged and out there, it'll definitely make its way to the Chicago area.
Yeah,
I'm going to try it.
Once they pay their tribute to the Wirtz,
I don't know how much the bottles
Judge and Dolph and the Wirtz family, then they can distribute it in Chicago. Glenn Cole, head brewer at Geneseo Brewing Company. For more information on your brewing company, your micro pub and all that, where can people go?
Geneseo Brewing on Facebook is the best way to keep up with us and keep up on when the next batch will be out in stores.
Great. Glenn Cole, head brewer at Geneseo Brewing Company. Glenn, thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations on standing up and benefiting from standing up and doing the right thing. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. And he joined us on our turnkey .pro Go Hawkeyes line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Listen up, Chicago area. Are you interested in making active and passive income each month flipping real estate tax liens? Then listen to this. The ProSource Tax Lien Company is offering a free tax lien flip kit, which contains educational videos and a step-by-step report that will show you how to earn government-regulated returns up to 18% that are secured by real estate. Plus, see how you can access tax lien inventory not available to the public. So, if you want to become a real estate investor without swinging a hammer or being a landlord, then text Chicago to 31,000 now to get your free tax lien flip kit and get ready to learn how to flip tax liens and acquire houses well below wholesale prices with great profit potential, all from home working part-time. Text Chicago to 31,000 right now to get your free tax lien investor kit, plus 2 free tickets to a live training event, which includes a free smartwatch just for attending. Text Chicago to 31,000. That's Chicago to 31,000 for your free tax lien kit now. Individual results may vary.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
Hey, let me tell you something. The balance of nature really works, man. I mean, I work constantly on the road, and I put in 60 hours in 4 days, 15 hours a day, and I'm telling you, this stuff works. I don't get sick. I have plenty of energy. I'm 46 years old. I'm an old man. And I can't tell you how grateful I am to have this stuff. So I just want you to know that this stuff really works, and I'm grateful that this Dr. Howard guy figured it out. So I'll leave it at that.
Experience the balance of nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we'll take off an additional $25 on your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and just because summer is over doesn't mean it's too late to paint your home. Fall is a great time to check painting off your to-do list. By now, I think I've had my entire home painted by CertaPro painters. They really are the best. You know, CertaPro painters make painting this fall easy and quick. They have more availability, which means you can have your home professionally painted much faster. Cooler weather is arriving, so it is time to think about protecting your home from the elements once again. Have CertaPro painters paint the exterior of your home as well. And with kids going back to school and the family moving back indoors, get excited about cozy nights with a new look from CertaPro painters. Don't put it off. It's time to hire CertaPro painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Or call 800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro painters, we do painting, you do life.
When John Mariotti started Woodland Windows and Doors in 1969, he knew that relationships were important. He knew that he needed to look out for his customers' best interests. Today, Woodland is run by the second and third generation of Mariottis, who continue to build great relationships and to service their customers. When it's time to replace your windows and doors, trust your Marvin retailer, Woodland Windows and Doors, to guide you through the process. They have a huge selection of Marvin replacement windows and doors, specialists who know their stuff, and professional installation. Homeowners and builders turn to Woodland Windows and Doors for the individual attention they get on each project. Every job is unique. Every job is done right. That's why for 50 years, they've trusted Woodland Windows and Doors with their projects. Woodland Windows and Doors, your Marvin authorized installing retailer, provides the perfect solution and professional installation. They're online at woodlandwindows.com or stop by the Woodland Windows and Doors showroom at the corner of Lake and Gary in Roselle.
Are you looking to improve your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at Pheasant Run in St. Charles. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience Advertisements with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home, inside and out. Get trusted advice on your upcoming projects as you speak with local and national experts who will help you with all your home improvement needs. And be sure to attend the free expert seminars and see live product demonstrations all weekend. Be sure to grab your fall plants, flowers, and pumpkins by We Grow Dreams and Sunny Acres, and so much more. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend at Pheasant Run in St. Charles, with free admission and free parking. For more details, visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com. That's pheasantrunhomeshow.com. Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend in St. Charles. Visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com for more details.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy Hilldog still haunting the Democrat Socialist primary. She was on with the man-hating shrews on The View, and she was asked what her gutsiest decision was. Her gutsiest decision.
Oh, can you imagine?
Staying with Bill.
In my case, after really hard thinking about it, counseling, praying, all the things that I did and that we went through, I just decided it was the right decision for me. But that didn't mean it was an easy decision. It was a really hard decision. And I think at personal points along the way, sometimes deciding whether to get married or who to marry is a gutsy decision. Sometimes when your child has an issue. I had a friend a few years ago who called up and said, I don't know who to talk to about this, but my little girl wants to be a boy. What do I do? And several of us we didn't know what to do. We'd never had a friend who'd faced that before. And several of us kind of read everything, talked to people, and gave her advice. And it was really gutsy for her to say, okay, I'm going to respect the feelings of my child, as hard as it is for me to understand this. So I think when the question was asked personally, everybody faces a moment of decision. And you have to reach deep down inside and decide what's right for you to do. And hopefully it's reached with love and understanding.
You know what an antonym for the name Hillary Clinton is? An antonym for Hillary Clinton?
What?
Authenticity. She is, first of all, comparing her decision not to divorce Bill to parenting a trans child is hysterical. Number one. Number two, she just can't be a human being. Everything has to be spun to occupy some political territory. So she's talking a gutsy decision, her to stay with Bill and all the bull jive surrounding that answer. And then comparing it to parenting a trans child and it being gutsy to, let your life be governed by what a 5-year-old thinks he is or she is. Because that's where the political zeitgeist of the day is. So that's where she needs to be. It is so transparently pathetic. She's a pathetic person. Really a pathetic person. And when you let politics consume your life like she has, you become a pathetic, cardboard cutout human being like Hillary Clinton. So let her be a cautionary tale.
All right. Thanks so much for making us part of your work week. Thanks to Dan Proft for being here.
You're welcome.
Thanks to Justin Kozik, the technical producer, and Quinn McCarthy, who is
a Dick Cavett impersonator. Did you see that sweater he's wearing today?
No. Cable knit sweater. Oof. Must be getting cold outside. Now let's get into the newsroom. Enjoy your hat because
I'm
it's coming off on Saturday.
I'm going to really enjoy
Iowa
this victory. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good talk, Mike. Good talk.
7 hospitalized after a vehicle struck by a Pink Line train. CTA investigating. WIND Chicago News Time is 9 o'clock.
Unemployment drops, stocks rise.